We've got Sheamus taking on Solo Sikoa as well. So there's quite a few things that we've got lined up tonight. Obviously, there'll be even more than that, but that's everything I think that was on the official preview. But yeah, as we said, quite juicy. The return of Cena is definitely going to grab people's attention. That's definitely going to have people excited. And then, of course, Women's Championship match. I mean, Sheamus against Solo, that is going to be an absolute banger. That is going to be an absolute banger. So, yeah, really looking forward to tonight. And it's just great to be back as well. I've been away for a couple of days. What would it be in Christmas? And what with family coming round and all of that stuff. But we're back now. We're back. We're up and running. And we're good. I feel well rested, actually. I feel quite chipper. I feel recharged. So I'm in quite a good place. New chair, yeah. I did say I was going to do it. I got rid of the sofa. So normally we was on a sofa and it was really low down. Now I've got like this office chair which swivels, which is a bit annoying. But I've got my lumbar is now finally supported. So I've got really good lumbar support now, so we're ready for a big year ahead. So yeah, new chair, that's nice. Doesn't really change anything, but my lumbar is very grateful. Amin, shout out to you, says hello Days and everyone, hope you had a good Christmas. Same to you, buds. Random Gamer said, I've not been in here in a while. Hello everyone, hello Days. Hello, hope you're well. Ishi said, are you comfortable? Do you know what? I don't know, actually. I kind of feel like, I mean, yeah, it's better. It's definitely better because the other sofa was really low down. And so, like, I was, like, kind of a bit scrunched up. So I definitely feel better. I feel like my posture is a lot better now. But, I don't know. I feel like I need a bit more padding or something. I mean, like, it's not quite as, like, an office chair is not as comfortable as the sofa, is it? So, like, I've been living on a sofa, basically, whenever we've been doing these streams. So an office chair actually feels like a little bit of a downgrade. But my posture is much better on this chair. So, I don't know. We'll make it work. We'll find a way of making it work. Watson, shout out to you. Said hello. Thanks for the family stream on Wednesday. But you was probably too drunk to remember. Do you know what, actually? Wednesday wasn't that bad. I really was worried that I was going to be absolutely obliterated. And I kind of did all right, you know. I did all right because there was a few kids around. My cousins have got kids. And so they came round. And it meant that we were just playing Switch all the time. I've got a Switch that's set up. And so we were playing like the tennis and the bowling. And so there really wasn't loads of time to be like chatting and drinking because I was doing that. So, I mean, I definitely had a few drinks, but I was all right. Yesterday, I was just tired, just really tired. So I made sure to get a lot of rest. And as I said, feeling really good and recharged. Do you watch Dynamite with your family? No one in my family likes wrestling. So, no. Steve said, can you talk a little bit on Pele, the impact he had as a football fan? Thoughts on Ronaldo signing for Al Nassr? No, we won't spend too long on that. Like, this is a wrestling stream, so you know, Pele, big loss to the world, but I don't think it was a massive surprise. He obviously wasn't feeling very well, was he, during the World Cup? And you know, there'd been a lot of talk that it was getting to like end of life stages. So obviously, you know, when I woke up to the news and saw it, it was still very sad. But I think the world was probably preparing themselves for it. His impact, I mean, I get asked who the best football player is, and my answer often is, if not all the time, Pele. I think Pele is the best. I grew up with understanding and being told by TV and friends that Pele was the greatest of all time. So for me, he's clear of Maradona. But obviously, then you've got the debate of who's better. Is it Ronaldo? Is it Messi? It feels like the world has now accepted Messi as the best in this generation. So, you know, it's going to be debatable, isn't it, as to who the best of all time is. All I can tell you is that if someone wants to argue it's Messi, that's fine. They can do that. But for me, I've grown up with Pele being the greatest of all time. Pele, to me, is the Muhammad Ali of football. So, when you think about people that transcend their sports, you think about the likes of Muhammad Ali, you think about the likes of Pele. Like, they are absolutely, for me, in the same bracket. So he's just one of the biggest sports stars of all time, isn't he? Brenton said, shout out to you. Glad you're back. How many of the top 100 Christmas movies did you watch? Brenton, shout out to you, buds. I didn't watch any. I did watch some films. So I was pretty good at watching films, but I didn't watch any actual Christmas movies. But I watched the last James Bond film, which was really good. I watched, I Googled the best film of 2022, and I was told by, I think it was Time Out magazine, that it was Licorice Pizza, which is just by chance a film that I had already heard of, and had a conversation about on the Wrestling Escape Pod. So I went out my way to watch that. It's pretty good. I also watched that, I don't know if you've seen it, Pepsi versus the Kids, or Pepsi Where's My Jet, something like this. It's about Pepsi. This is mental. In the 90s, Pepsi ran a campaign where you could collect Pepsi points. So for every can that you would drink, you would get a point, right? And you'd collect these points, and then you could get cool things like glasses, T-shirts, things along those lines, right? That have Pepsi on. And as a joke, in the advert, they said 7 million points, you could get a Harrier jet. Right, a military plane, you could get this jet. It's only a joke, right? They just put it at the end as like, look, you can have the T-shirt, you can have the cap, you can have this, you can have that. And then at the end, they put 7 million points, you can get this jet, right? This kid decided he was going to get the jet. And so it's the story about how he gets enough money and enough points to get the jet. And of course, they didn't have a jet to give away. And so, like, the whole documentary is all about what happens. It was really good. The only thing I would say is that it probably only needed to be about an hour long. And it's, like, about 3 hours long. Like, there's about 2 hours. It's just there's a lot of waffle in there. But it's a good story. So, yeah, watch that. Rob said, what do you think about BBC's new reboot? My God, is there going to be any wrestling questions here? Has anyone got any thoughts on the reason that we're here? Anyone got any thoughts on wrestling? You do understand it's SmackDown. This is a SmackDown stream, yeah? I tell you, it's great to chit chat and go down these different roads, but we're all here today for wrestling and to talk about SmackDown. What I will say is there hasn't been tons of news in wrestling, so there isn't like loads to go through. The bits that I've seen is that like Bray Wyatt picked up an injury at a house show. So he's picked up, I think he broke his finger or thought he had broken his finger. He's had a few matches now, and he picked up an injury during a house show. Nothing that's going to result in like him not wrestling or anything. It's just a minor thing that it's believed. It's also believed that AJ Styles has picked up injury at a house show. His seems a little more serious, not like career-threatening or anything, but they just haven't released exactly what his injury is. So we don't know how severe it is, but we know with Bray, it's like a broken finger or something along those lines. So I saw that. I saw the footage, but I only saw it today of Jessica Carr giving Sami Zayn a Stone Cold Stunner. I don't know if you saw that. She gave Sami Zayn a stunner. And, I can't remember. I don't know why. I don't know if he was saying that she was rubbish at a job or what. The clip's only very short. You just see her, like, he's berating her, and she's just, like, losing her mind. And then she kicks him in the midsection, hits this stunner. And I saw that done nearly 500,000 views on Twitter, which is crazy. So, yeah, that seems to be quite popular. So I'd seen that as well. Obviously, we know that Raw is going to be a big show as well. So Raw on Monday is going to be very, very tasty. Very much looking forward to that. That's going to have some championship matches. That has got Bianca against Alexa for the Women's Championship. So that should be good. And a few other bits, but I can't remember them. But there are a few bits that are lined up. They seem to have gone big on tonight's SmackDown, and they seem to have gone big on Monday's Raw. So we've got a couple of big shows coming up. So even Monday, It's going to be very tasty. I have no idea as well about what we're doing tomorrow. I've got no idea what we're doing tomorrow. Normally we'd watch UFC. There isn't any. Normally we would do boxing instead. There isn't any. Obviously we would watch wrestling. There isn't any. Like tomorrow's just like this really weird day where there's nothing that's actually happening. So yeah, I don't know. I have not worked that one out yet as to what tomorrow's going to hold. But I know that Tank Davis is boxing, I think, in a week's time. So we will be doing the Tank Davis fight. So we have got that on the horizon, which is nice. And thankfully, we're back with wrestling streams, which is really good. So we're back now with Smackdown. And as we said, big Raw coming up on Monday as well. LS Dub, shout out to you, said, just take Saturday off. Well, I mean, I feel like I've had a day off, actually. I feel like I've actually had a day off because Wednesday was not a day off. Wednesday was definitely not a day off. That was all day. On Wednesday itself, I had about an hour and a half sleep. So I had about an hour and a half sleep. And then on Wednesday, the family came round and it was from about 2 o'clock to about 1 in the morning. So it was around about 11 hours that people were here. And as I said, like, I wasn't, like, I was all right. I wasn't drunk. I'd had a drink, but I was fine. That wasn't the problem. The problem was being tired. So yesterday was a day of just like, oh, can't be bothered to do anything. So I got all this sorted, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. That's pretty much all I did. I spent quite a bit of time in bed just trying to catch up on some sleep, and I feel so much better for it now. So, yeah, I mean, I feel quite rested. I feel quite good. I feel recharged. I feel ready to go. So all we need now is the world to start back up again and start giving us some events to enjoy and watch and talk about and stuff like that. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Just might take a week or so for things to, really start kicking off. What NXT talent do you think will be in men's and women's rumbles? Daniela, I think there'll be quite a few. Because I think that you're going to be seeing a lot more integration of NXT onto the main roster under Triple H. So Triple H obviously has a soft spot for NXT, unsurprising. And so he is absolutely going to want NXT to be a big part of the main roster. He's going to want to make sure that he's doing what he's going to want to give Shawn Michaels the support that he doesn't think he got from Vince McMahon. So Vince never really did loads with NXT. He sort of left Triple H to it. He did include them in the Rumble sometimes, and he did include them, is it 1 year in Survivor Series, maybe a couple of years? But I think you'll see a lot more integration of NXT. I'd expect there actually to be an NXT match, if not a couple, at WrestleMania. I think that you'll see them at activity around a lot of the major shows. So Rumble, I think you're going to see quite a chunk of NXT talents. So, I mean, look, just pick, say, 5 guys, 5 girls. I reckon you could probably be looking at something like that. There might even be more girls involved because we've kind of exhausted a lot of the legends. You might be able to go and get someone like Gail Kim. Haven't seen Gail Kim in a hot minute. So you might be able to get her. You might be able to get like just some female legends like, say, Awesome Kong. Don't know if you could go and get Awesome Kong. Don't know if you could get Manami Toyota. I mean, I know she's retired, but could she just come back for one thing? I don't believe she's ever competed in a WWE ring, but she is regarded as the greatest female wrestler of all time. So to go and get her would be a massive tick. In fact, there's a few Japanese women you could go and get. And I think that surprise-wise, under Triple H could be really interesting because I think he might reach out to some talents that Vince wouldn't have reached out to, or he might be able to get some talents that wouldn't work under Vince, but they'll work under Triple H. So the surprises, I think, are going to be interesting. But I think that you will get a lot of NXT stars being used in the Rumble. So, Carmelo, Bron Breakker, Grayson Waller, Indy Hartwell, Wendy Chu, blah, 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 blah. Those kind of names. Steve said, did you see the report that Ronda Becky has been scrapped for Mania and now it's going to be Ronda versus Rhea No, I hadn't actually. I hadn't seen that news. That's interesting. I think that's a bit of a shame, to be honest, because it sort of feels like Ronda and Becky have got a history, and my guess about that would be that Ronda. I don't know if Ronda's going to stick around after that. I believe her contract takes her up to WrestleMania, and I really don't know what she's planning on doing after that point. So the future for Ronda after Mania, I've got no idea what that looks like. I have no idea if she even enjoys being in WWE or not. It's one thing to enjoy watching it. It's something completely different to be a part of it. And I don't think she gets the best reaction from the fans. I don't think she gets that much respect from the fans. I don't think she gets that much respect from her peers. And so I think that for her, it might be a case that she's just not feeling it. So I really don't know what the future's going to hold for her. So maybe at WrestleMania, she's going to lose the title, and maybe she is not going to want to lose it to Becky Lynch. So maybe there's been a conversation saying, look, I'll drop it to anyone you want, but I ain't dropping it to Becky Lynch, because my understanding is there is actually some real life heat there. And I don't know, perhaps they've just not been able to get on the same page. Perhaps they've not been able to work things out. Maybe it's something connected along those lines. I really, really don't know what the future is going to hold for her. David said, AEW talent that have AAA titles lost them on Wednesday. FTR to a team that had Dragon Lee, who is leaving, and then Sami and Ty, who also lost belts. Brenton said, RIP Don West. I know you weren't a TNA guy, but he was a great color commentator besides Mike Tenay. Ellis Dubb said, Ronda can leave, to be honest. She's simply not that good of a performer. Die Hard Dude said, do you think Sami Roman will lose tonight and Bloodline will turn on Sami? I think tonight you'll see the start of the split, but I think it would be a bit rushed for them to go from loving Sami to hating Sami because of one loss. Like, I feel like there needs to be a few things that result in the Bloodline turning on him. I think one loss would just make it seem very rushed. So I don't think they turn on him tonight. I don't want them to turn on him tonight. I think it would be too quick. So I think that he could get berated by Roman and pushed over by Roman. And Sami could be like, absolutely dejected, heartbroken. And then obviously next week we've got a very interesting episode where Sami now has got to try and prove himself to the Bloodline, and the Bloodline are now doubting him. And, he's really battling to keep his place in the team. And then something else is going to happen whereby he's going to let him down. And I don't know if it's the second time that they finally snap or the third time that they finally snap, but I wouldn't have it after this first time. I mean, right now they love him because he was the guy, wasn't he, at War Games Survivor Series. Like, he massively helped them out, and they're all loving him. I mean, if it wasn't for Kevin Owens, they were on the verge of making him a full-blown oos. And so, like, yeah, they're to go from that to turning on him would be a bit quick for me. So I think tonight they'll lose. I think tonight what you'll see Roman and Sami lose. Sami should be the reason why they lose. And then you might see a little something, but I'd be very surprised if the turn was tonight. Are we going to see LA Knight tonight, said Amin? Yeah, I would imagine so, bud. Yeah, I would imagine so, because I think you're going to see more of the Bray story. So obviously last week we got a taped show and Bray attacked the cameraman. We're going to need to find out the repercussions of that. I would guess that we would see LA Knight. I've not heard that he's injured or anything. So he's obviously still a big part of this angle with Bray, and it's clearly leading towards a match. And WWE have announced the Pitch Black match. So that's not even speculation anymore. We know it's coming. Sponsored by Mountain Dew. So I think they're probably going to want to start moving towards actually announcing who's involved in that match. Because it's one thing to come out and say that we're having a Pitch Black match, but the reaction was, are you? Like, who's in this then? What's this about? They haven't actually told us who's in it, but it's long been rumored that Bray against LA Knight are going to be the two people that are going to compete in that match. So I don't know if we take steps towards getting that confirmed tonight. I would imagine there's a good chance we will, because they have announced that this match is coming. So that would suggest that in kayfabe, there's been conversations that have been had about a pitch black match. So they must know who's going to be involved in it. So, well, hopefully we get more answers on that. Hazard Talks 30 said, I've not been in the live stream show a while. I've been busy, but it's good to be back. I wanted to know the thoughts on tonight's show. I'm excited for Cena. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because, to be honest, I'm excited for the main event. It's a big main event, and I know it's just like a thrown together tag match. And so there'll be people out there saying, well, it's not that big. It's not like Roman's defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Like, it's just a tag match. And I do totally understand that, right? But because of the Sami story and the fact that Sami is potentially going to let Roman down, it all of a sudden becomes a bigger match. Like, we want to know what's happening with Sami. We want to know what's happening with the bloodline, and we should get some real answers as to where we're going with it tonight. I mean, if Roman and Sami just win, I'll be stunned. I mean, I would be stunned. That would be a stunning result, because I totally am not predicting that. I really think they lose. I think Sami's going to cost them the match, same as pretty much everyone else out there. And so, it's going to be really interesting. The repercussions of tonight could be felt for a long, long time to come. So, because of that, that's why the match feels big. That's why the show feels big as well. And then you add in a title match, Ronda defending against Raquel. I don't think Raquel's going to win that. I really don't think she's going to win that, but it's still a women's title match, so that's nice. And then Sheamus against Solo. I mean, that should just be a banger, man. That should just be a lot of fun. So, big show. Big show. Steve, shout out to you, said Sami will be the one to turn on Roman. It's the ultimate swerve. If they waste Bloodline turning on Sami, then that's criminal. Sami needs to come out the long game player. Bonkers said AJ Styles' injury on a live event the other day. He's all right, not out too long. Aubrey Edwards, Dancing on Wrestling's Grave, says pitch black match. Both combatants get blackout drunk, and then they ring the bell. Dan from Pensacola, Florida, shout out to you, my friends. Really appreciate the support. I have actually, right, this is going to be weird for me to get used to this. I realized something whilst I was setting up because I had to take all this down. And for like when family came over, because we used this room for like, there's a bar and we put a sofa down. Well, we've got the sofa. We had the switch on. So we needed the space. So that's why this is a little bit different, because I had to take all this down. So all of this was gone. So I've had to put it back again. And so that meant I could just tweak it a little bit. But one of the things that I learned whilst I was tweaking it is, like a lot of the time, and I think it probably still does a bit now, but it should be a bit better. Sometimes my face is like, I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost because it is so bright that it like washes out my face. Like I look like I'm glowing. I look like I'm some kind of extraterrestrial, right? I realized that the reason why that's happening is because the screen is here and the light coming from the screen is what's doing that. So what I've done is I've set my computer to dark modes. And so everything is like really dark now. So I'm having to try and get used to this. Like everything's black and there's just a few bits of like detail on there. I can see the chat and everything, but I have changed the setup. So now what that means is for me, and maybe for you as well, the top part of the super chats, they're normally in like gold. They're not, they're black now. And the super chats, when they're coming through, you can't see them anymore. Like Dan from Pensacola, Florida, his is just black. And so like it's really hard to see them now. So I can see this being a massive flipping problem. I can see that, in fact, I've already missed one, and I didn't even realize I missed one. I'm going to have to start getting used to reading them at the top. So that's why they're black, by the way, because I've set my computer to dark modes in an attempt to try and not blast myself with unnecessary light. So you didn't need to know that, but I thought I'd explain it because I thought some people might be looking at it thinking, like, it's a bit weird. But Dan, shout out to you, bud, said, I've been in hospital. I'm sorry to hear that, since Monday. It was a serious stomach issue, but I'm getting better. Been looking forward to this SmackDown with you in the chat all week. It'll be a great show. Dude, I'm really sorry to hear that. That sucks. I hope that you're, well, I'm guessing you're not out yet, but hopefully you're on the road to recovery. So I hope you get there very soon, my friend. So, yeah, should be a great show. Should be a great show. And hopefully we can distract you for a few hours. So hope you get better soon, buds. Hope you get better soon. Matt Carney, shout out to you, said, Days, have you yet quantified what makes a good episode of Raw? What are the required ingredients? And also what makes a solid episode of Dynamite? Listen, it's the same thing. Any good wrestling show needs to have matches, for me, that matter. So if all the matches have a reason for being, and it's not like every single match has to be a title match at all. But it needs every match needs to be part of a feud. It needs to have a reason for being there. Like, I hate shows where you've got, say, one half of American Alpha, say Otis, taking on someone out of the OC, like, say, AJ Styles, Otis against AJ Styles. Does that match mean anything? No, it doesn't. Now, those groups might be in a bit of a feud, but you're not going to solve that feud by having one member take on one member. You need to do OC against American Alpha, and, like, they need to have a match, don't they? Like, you need to do, I don't know, AJ and Gallows, or Gallows and Anderson, or maybe get American Alpha to find a third person so you can have 3-on-3. If they're in a feud, get the feud sorted, right? Let's have one person from this team take on one person from this team. That is just filler. That's all that is. That is just filler. They know that they need to stretch this out over several weeks. And so the way you do that is maybe 1 week you'll do promos. Another week you'll have AJ versus Otis. The week after you'll do AJ versus Chad Gable. But the problem is that those matches, they're boring. They don't matter. They really don't matter. They play no part in who wins that feud, right? You've got to do the two teams against each other, because that's what the feud's all about. So for me, what I look for when it comes to a wrestling show, be it Raw, be it SmackDown, be it Dynamite, it's the same thing. The matches need to have a reason for being, and they need to be something that I'm engaged in. And the matches are probably the biggest part of the show. So, like, it's really important that that's in place. The other thing I would say as well with that, though, is that you can't rush that as well. Like, you need to build up to it. Like, you can't just have them brawl early in the show and then have them do the match later in the show and expect me to care, because I don't care. Like, they had a little fight earlier in the show. Now they're having a match. Like, yeah, all right, the match has got a purpose, but it's got no build. Like, it's just, I appreciate the fact you've given me a reason to watch the match. You've taken a step in the right direction, but for me, that's not enough. Like, I need you to at least give me a week or something whereby, you know, we can talk about, like, how's it going to play out, and who do you think's going to win, and what are the repercussions for the losers, what's the repercussions for the winners. Like, I need time in order to care about the match. So again, you see that a lot with shows where, you know, we see something happen backstage, and then later on the same show, they'll be involved in a match. That, to me, is just one level above no build at all, right? So even that doesn't really do it for me. So, like, you know, the build for the matches has got to be good. It's got to be right. It's got to be strong. I need to care about them. And then the promos, you don't want to listen to someone come out and just waffle away. You know, we all know people that do bad promos. We all know people that go out there, they don't really have anything to say. Their delivery is not that engaging. They don't have any killer lines. There's nothing that they say that makes you go, oh, that's fire. You know, there's nothing in there that, like, really grabs your attention. Like, Seth's quite good. Obviously, MJF, you'd probably say, is the best. He is fantastic at going out with the microphone and making it really personal. more personal than I think WWE would be comfortable with, to be honest, because we just don't see that in WWE. But you want your promos to really grab people's attention and really build up the feuds. You know, if you do a great promo the one week and then the next week we get the match, like, that's great. That's great. You know, if it's a great setup and then you've got a whole week to talk about, man, that promo is so good, I can't wait to see the match. And then the next week you do the match. I'll tell you a recent example of that. MJF against Ricky Starks. So MJF and Ricky Starks on Dynamite, they actually had a really good back and forth promo on the one week. And then the next week they had the match. And I thought the match was all right. That's just a small example of something which worked well, I thought. Was it amazing? I don't know, debatable. I thought the back and forth was good in the promos, and I thought the match was fine. But that is two segments that I cared about. I cared about the promos. I cared about the match. And there was only a week in between them. They were only a week apart. So for me, you know, that's just a recent example of something that I thought was quite good. Whereas, you know, you get a lot, certainly on Raw, where there'll be a little backstage thing that happens and then, you know, you do the match later in the show. The only thing I would say is I do understand that you do need to cater for people that don't watch every week. Like, you should be able to jump into Raw and just enjoy Raw, even if you've never seen any other Raw, right? You need to be able to jump in and watch it. But, you know, they're very good at, like, video packages and things like that that could easily bring people up to speed. And there's been plenty of long feuds that have played out, like the Loomis and Miz story. Like, that was taking lots of twists and turns, where he was being abducted. He went round his house. Then we found out Johnny exposed what was really happening. And of course, it turned out Miz had been paying Loomis. And so there was lots of twists and turns in that story. And they were able to tell that over several weeks. And again, I thought that was fine. I thought that was good. There was a reason for that feud. It had been explained. It played out over several weeks and it needed to. Like, all of that I thought was fine. So for me, like, those things all contribute towards great shows. I need to care about what I see on TV. And I must admit, there's a vast majority in recent times, probably more under Vince than Triple H, but the vast majority I just haven't cared about. I just haven't cared. Look at the Bray stuff and look at the Bloodline. So the Bloodline have been fantastic. They've had little stories. I mean, the story with Sami has been running for months and months and months, and it is absolutely captivating, isn't it? Like, you just cannot wait to see what's going to happen with Sami Zayn next. And that's because, like, it's a really strong story. It's not even a very complicated story. It's just a guy that wants to be accepted, and he struggled to be accepted, but he finally was. And now we're waiting for it to all fall apart. So, but that has played out over months and months and months. And that's just, I mean, brilliant storytelling. So the Sami stuff has been fantastic. The Bray stuff, the White Rabbit, you know, the cryptic clues and everything. I mean, oh God, people were loving that. And even now, you know, you've got Uncle Howdy. The only criticism that I hear, well, I hear a couple of things. One I hear is that people don't like it as much as The Fiend and the Funhouse, and that's understandable. And then the other one I hear is that they just want him to get to the match. Now, my answer to that is I understand it's maybe not as cool as The Fiend and the Funhouse, like, you know, the puppets and all of that. I mean, that was so special. It was always going to be hard to deliver something as good as that, right? So it was always going to be tricky, but I think he's done a good job of giving us a fresh story and something to explore and talk about. And so I think he's done well to come up with something new. And obviously it's not played out yet, so we still don't know about it all and where it's going and what the end result's going to be. And this is a story which I'm engaged in. I can't wait to see what the next part of this story is. And for me personally, I'm in no rush to get to the matches because I've said before, Bray has never been a match person. He's never been someone that you've looked at to deliver 5-star classics. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I think even the biggest Bray fans would say that Bray is about characters. He's about Fiend. He's about creativity. He's about building worlds more so than getting in the bell rings and having matches. But he's still capable of having good matches. He had a good match at Rumble against Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, in that strap match at the Royal Rumble. That was a good match. So he is capable of having decent matches. He just needs the right opponent, the right opponent, really, the right person to bring the best out in him. If he goes up against someone that's like a Moss, I think he would struggle. I don't think Bray has really got it in him to be able to get great matches out of other people. He needs to go in there with someone like an AJ Styles or a Daniel Bryan or someone like that can really help bring great matches out of Bray. So, there's tons of opponents for him, but that's why I'm not in any rush. Because for me, Bray's all about characters, creativity, storytelling, and he does it so well. So, you put those ingredients in, maybe the odd surprise as well, and this is all what builds towards a great show. Matches that matter, promos that hit, swerves, surprises. At the end of the show, you want to think to yourself, that was worth watching. That was worth watching, that was. But it's hard to do that week after week after week after week after week after week after week. And I would say the challenge that AEW have, or the pitfall that AEW have fallen into, is that they try to go a bit too fast. I wish they would slow down. Because it sort of feels like, we just have matches and I don't even know where they've come from. There has been a build, but it happened on Rampage. So something will happen on the Friday, then it will pay off on the Wednesday. But unless you're watching on a Friday as well, you miss the build. So stories just move so quick. I mean, they just wouldn't be capable of telling a story like the Bray story. Tony Khan wouldn't cope with that. There's no way he could go that slow and tell a story like this Bray Wyatt one. All I'll say, though, is that there's plenty of people saying that that's going too slow. So I think the vast majority of wrestling fans probably fall in the middle. Probably don't want things as quick as AEW, but not as slow as what they're getting from Bray at the moment. It's tricky, innit? It's very tricky because wrestling is so subjective. I keep comparing it to music, and I think it's a good comparison. We've all got music we like. Some people like folk, some people don't. Some people like country, some people don't. Some people like metal, some people don't. Some people like pop, some people don't. Like, everyone's got their passions. Like, your favorite band is not probably my favorite band. And, you could name 20 artists and I might be able to find a couple in there that I like. And I could name 20 artists and you might not find any that you like. But we can all appreciate music is big and varied, and everyone's got their own tastes. And I think in a way that's very similar with wrestling, because wrestling is big and varied. You've got high flyers, you've got in-ring technicians, you've got strong style, you've got catchers, catch can. There's the brawling style as well that Sheamus and Bray kind of embody. What Brock embodies. Then you've got like supernatural stuff that's coming in, and there's just this big mixed bag of stuff that wrestling can do. And some people love it all. Some people don't like bits of it. Some people like these bits, but not those bits, and vice versa. And it's very similar in a way to wrestling. So what might make a good show for me might not make a good show for you. But I think, by and large, people would agree matches that make sense why we're getting them, matches that have got good stories to them, promos that matter and that hit and actually make you listen and stand up and go, wow, that's amazing. Like, these are just the basics, aren't they, really? These are the fundamentals. But will you do a watch along for Wrestle Kingdom? No, we can't, because New Japan will copyright strike me within 0.1 seconds. Because they do not faff around when it comes to copyright strikes. We've done some New Japan content before, and New Japan are just awful. But thoughts on FTR losing the AAA belts to someone that is leaving for WWE? Is FTR thinking of leaving AEW? Reports are that certain top stars are trying to keep Punk away. I'm guessing Jericho and the Elite. I don't really think much about it, to be honest. I think that titles come and go, don't they? Like, without knowing AAA, I have no idea if they wanted to put the belts on some people. Perhaps they've got an idea of who they want the titles on, and they can't get FTR to drop the belts to those people. So get them to drop it to some others, and then they can drop it to these other people. It's without knowing the ins and outs of it, it doesn't really say a lot to me. It doesn't say to me that FTR are leaving. It doesn't say that to me. What it does say to me is that it was time for them to lose the titles. Now, why it would be time for them to lose the titles, it might be that, I don't know, is there agreement with, is their relationship with AAA under any kind of trouble? Could it be that AAA and AEW have had a little falling out, and so, all the AAA titles have had to go back to AAA? Could it be that AAA wanted FTR for a certain date to do a certain match, but they weren't available to do it because it clashed with something to do with AEW? And so that's why they've took the belts off them, so that they have got the belts back and they can sort it out themselves. So I don't know. I mean, there's so many different things that it could result in. It doesn't necessarily say to me that FTR are about to leave AEW. It doesn't suggest that at all. But maybe it could. I mean, if they start losing all the belts, they've got the IWGP ones as well, haven't they? If they were to drop those, then maybe it could be that I don't think they would, though. I was going to say, I mean, I feel like AEW have got a pretty good relationship with New Japan, and there's been talks of another Forbidden Door. So I can't see that happening. Don't know. There could be lots of different reasons. Right, we've got another one. Butterscotch said, thanks for another year and top-notch content. Have a great new year. Butterscotch, shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support. Hopefully it will be a good year this year. Lots of excitement going into it. This is the first full year of Triple H, isn't it? So we're going to have to wait and see where we go from here. Amin, shout out to you. Daniela said, what's happening with Cameron Grimes? Wasn't he rumored to debut on the main roster a little while back? No. He was on Main Event, and there was a lot of excitement because anyone that's on Main Event tends to get a bit of buzz that they come into the main roster. And so we've seen a few names like Carmelo Hayes, for example. He's also, when he lost the title, it was rumored he might be coming up. And I think he was used on Main Event as well. We did see Cameron Grimes get beaten up the other week by the Bloodline. But I've not seen any report saying that he's on his way to the main roster. So, he's still around. I just don't think they've got any story for him down in NXT at the moment. Is there going to be matches on SmackDown tonight, said Jack. Yes, there is. Smurfy Toon said, I would say Cameron Grimes for the Rumble. Jim said, don't put anything that says New Japan or Wrestle Kingdom in the title. That could work. Steve said, what's your thoughts on Dragon Lee signing for WWE? Have you seen much of him? I haven't seen much of him, no. I think I saw a little bit of him when he was, I don't know if he was Dragon Lee or Ryu Lee in New Japan. And, he was all right. He didn't make much of an impression on me, to be honest. He's seemingly another Ricochet type, lucha, high flyer kind of a guy. I know there's plenty of buzz around him, but I don't know a great deal about him. We'll see what he can bring to NXT. I believe that's where he's going. Maggie said, I've heard rumors FTR want to work independently from AEW. I think their contracts are up in the spring. Worst case scenario, could you imagine Vince showing up at WrestleMania? Could I imagine it? Yes. I could imagine it. Do I think it'll happen? Don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the Vince thing is bad, in it. It's a bad situation. I really don't know as to what we're going to get from Vince. We keep seeing him, and I know it might not be on purpose, but equally it might be on purpose. They showed him in a tribute to the troops, and I made this point at the time. I did get people going, what are you on about, right, in the comments? Like, you're talking rubbish. as YouTube is. But the point I made was they did not have to include Vince in that tribute to the troops video package. They did not have to include him. They easily could have done that video package without having to show Vince, but they specifically chose a clip that had Vince standing in the middle of the ring. And that really resonated with me because I think that's the first time I've seen Vince in quite a while. And don't forget what he's accused of. Don't forget what he's accused of. He's accused of some pretty serious stuff. And for WWE to show someone who paid hush money and is accused of I know he owns the company. I know he's the major shareholder, right? But he retired and he went, and you would think that they would want to now just distance themselves from him and like that, not erase him from their past. Not like they're going to go in the network and remove all of Vince. Like, good luck with that. Like, it ain't like they're going to be doing that. But equally, you can move forward without having to reference him. You don't need to show him, right? But they did, and that felt kind of significant to me. And then the next week, he appeared again. I can't remember what the next one was. But there was another video package that he was in. I don't know if it was something to do with John Cena or can't remember, but he appeared again. And so that was also very interesting to me. So I do look at that and think, well, is there a chance that they're showing him because they're trying to keep him on screen so that we're used to seeing him because he is going to be coming back in some capacity? Maybe WrestleMania, we do see Vince. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's been lots of rumors that he's been interested in returning. I don't think he will. I'd like to think that the family will have a word with him and tell him it's better that he stays away. It's better for the company that he stays away. So I don't know that that will happen. But yeah, I mean, look, could he be at WrestleMania? Sure. Yeah, he could. Because he'll do what he wants to do at the end of the day. But hopefully he won't be, because to be honest, the stuff he is accused of is really serious. And I know that you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm fully aware of that. And but that hasn't been dealt with in my mind. I mean, he paid millions and millions and millions in hush money, and not just to one person. Like to lots of women. Like I think there's like 5 or 6 cases, isn't there? And just the other week there was another 2 cases that came out. And don't you think it was interesting that I don't know if it was the same day, but the same day that 2 more women came forwards to say that they'd been sexually abused by Vince. I think that was the same day that he came out and said he was interested, or the Wall Street Journal came out and said that he was interested in returning. Like, all of that information came out at the same time. And what was it that people were talking about? Were they talking about the 2 women that had come forwards? No, they weren't. They were talking about Vince coming back. So Vince was in the news, and he was the talk of wrestling Twitter and wrestling online, wrestling internet wrestling community. But all the talk was Vince coming back. Like, the story about him having another 2 women accusing him got pushed down the pecking order. So I do wonder if maybe that was by design, that this news came out that he was going to be coming back, because they knew that this story was coming out from these next 2 women. Now, the whole thing is bad. It is bad. And I'm fully aware that it's innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm not sitting here saying he's guilty of these things, but it's a bad look. It is a bad look. It's not a great look, is it? And as a result, they felt it was better for him to retire. So he's retired. And why would you now be showing him on the program and all this stuff, like 2 weeks in a row? There is a concern that he could find his way back. There is a concern about that, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But Vince could come back and we wouldn't even know, because he doesn't really like to do camera TV stuff. He could just be pulling the strings. Well, I mean, look, if I'm being truthful, I think he probably is pulling strings anyway, because that's a big job for Steph. You know, Steph is someone that's just been doing a lot of charity stuff. She's been doing a lot of that side of the business. I don't know, like how Triple H has been really trained up for the creative side. Triple H has been, booking NXT, for example, and in gorilla position, he's been sat next to Vince, and they've been, he's every decision, he's been right there, Triple H. So he's been doing NXT, and he's been with Vince, as Vince has been booking the shows. And really, like, Triple H taking over creative is a no-brainer, because he's been conditioned and prepared for that job for a long time. I don't think the same is true with Steph. I don't think Steph's been prepared for the job of being CEO and chairwoman. I don't think he's been preparing her. She's been doing a lot of charity stuff. She goes and speaks to people about, like, the charity work, and she does a lot of, like, outreach work. And I mean, like, that seems to be very different to, overseeing everything. So I think he is still pulling strings. I should imagine she calls him up at least once a day, asking, like, what would you do this? What do you reckon with this? We've got this coming up. Nick's telling me that he thinks we should do this. What's your thoughts? And I would imagine that he's feeding stuff into her. Well, I mean, like, obviously, the longer she does the job, the more she's going to get experience, the more that ultimately she'll be able to do it long term by herself. So it's fantastic experience for Steph. But I mean, I don't think she's been prepared for this role. I don't think she. I mean, like, how do you prepare? She would have to have shadowed him for all of his decisions, been in the room as he's making these decisions. He'd have to have gone through his thought process with her, so that she could understand why some of these decisions were being made. And I just don't know that that's been happening. I really don't know that that's been happening. So I think there's a really good chance he is still pulling strings. Vince and Triple H have words on Christmas Day. Vince demanded that Shanky gets put back on SmackDown for dancing, said JB. Daniela said Creed Brothers versus Usos would be a banger if booked right. What other teams do you think Creed Brothers would have great matches with? Creed, like, any team, really. Creeds are a fantastic team for the future. So you could see them having great matches against the likes of New Day. You could see them having great matches against the likes of Street Profits. They could have great matches, I'm sure, with the Viking Raiders, but I don't know that the Viking Raiders are in a great place at the moment. I mean, I really like the fact that Valhalla, Sarah Logan, is with them, but I don't know that they've been booked as dominant as what I wanted. Watching Sarah Logan get chucked into, like, the commentary area by, I think, B-Fab was very disappointing. To me, she should be someone that just doesn't get touched. Like, she is the leader of that group. She can stand there and watch them get beaten up, and she can be disappointed in Eric and Ivar. But I don't want to see Valhalla getting chucked around just like she's a mere mortal, right? Because she is someone that we've seen doing a lot of, like, ceremonies and traditional, like, I don't know, like spells or whatever. Like, I certainly don't want to be in Supernatural, but equally, I don't want to see B-Fab grabbing her and chucking her into the commentary area. Like, I want to see her, like, being this person of power, basically, that is borderline untouchable. And I think they've really botched it, and they just don't book them that way. Like, we've already seen Valhalla get chucked around. And I can't say that the Viking Raiders have come back looking all that dominant. So, I mean, like, didn't they lose they lost the triple threat match, didn't they? They were in that triple threat match. Then they lost their flipping Flop Dollar. And Flop Row. So, Botch Row managed to get the victory in that triple threat. So, I don't know, man. I look at how they're booking Viking Raiders, and I feel a bit sorry for them. Because they were, when they were War Machine, fantastically credible team. But now, like, you look at them and you go, man, even with Valhalla, she's just getting chucked around these days. So, look, Creeds could have a match against anyone, couldn't they? And it'd be awesome. Are you hyped or indifferent for Dynamite next week? New look and presentation. I think 8,000 tickets sold. Feels like a big show, but little steam behind it. I don't know how I feel, to be honest, mate, because I didn't watch Wednesday, so I don't even know what the matches are. So Am I hyped for it? I don't know. I'd say no. I'd have to say, if I was, I'd say I was, wouldn't I? So I think the fact that I'm not massively feeling it, I don't know. I just think Dynamite has just been a little bit flat. It feels like they've been drifting. Maybe they have, because they knew this big refresh was coming. And so maybe that's why it's felt like they've been drifting, because they have been drifting. But yeah, it definitely feels like they need a bit of life, a bit of an injection of something. And we just haven't been seeing that. Just haven't been getting that. So we'll have to see. We'll see what Wednesday brings. But I don't even know what's on the show. I haven't seen what they've got lined up. I turned it off midway, said Serge. Oh, really? What, on Wednesday? Dynamite couldn't even beat a recap of the best of Raw. Do you think Bloodline turning on Sami begins tonight? Yeah, I don't think they'll turn on him tonight. We said this earlier. I don't think they'll turn on him tonight, but I think we could see the start of the split. And I think, that's what a lot of people are here for. That's what a lot of people are excited about. Understandably so. So, yeah, I think you can see the start of it. But I wouldn't go expecting him to get beaten up and everything. For me, that would be too soon. Like, I wouldn't be doing that now, because they were loving him just the other day. To go from loving him to now beating him up just because of one loss, I think would be a bit quick, a bit too quick. Vince, Flair, Steamboat, Stone Cold have all wrestled in 2022. What a year, said Steve. But Lays Jet said, do you think MJF is going to go to WWE? Well, maybe one day, but I don't believe or buy this 2024 stuff. This 2024 stuff is MJF's a heel. What is the one thing that AEW fans are not going to appreciate here? And they're not going to appreciate him saying that he's going to WWE, right? That's the one thing that is guaranteed to get AEW fans upset, is one of their top stars saying that they're off to WWE. So he does that a lot. Says that 2024 there's going to be this bidding war and that Tony needs to pay up and all this kind of stuff. And I just don't buy it, because, to be honest, if he is doing that, that is so unprofessional. Like, if everything that we've seen is true, right, then he is so unprofessional that I don't even think WWE should touch him. Because if he is going to be, like, going AWOL and all that kind of stuff, like, you can't work with someone like that. How are you meant to work with someone like that? How are you meant to get things done? You can't put creative in place and then have someone walk out. So, like, part of me thinks that this is all just a plan by AEW and MJF to get him over as this monster heel. The one thing those fans don't want to hear is that their top star, one of their top stars, wants to go to WWE. So I don't see 2024 being a thing. I think that he will get more money in that contract. He deserves more money. I can't see him going to WWE. I mean, I suppose if they come in with a big offer, that'll make things interesting. If they do come in with an offer, then I suppose it might force AEW to get into a real bidding war. But I think that they're definitely using that to get heat on him. Right, we are done with our little chitty chat, our little chit chat. Okay. Biggest match of 2022 on the last SmackDown of the year. So, John Cena and Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. There's 15,000 at SmackDown tonight, said Rory. Lights out. Is it going to be Bray? Are we starting with Bray? Yeah, we're starting with Bray, Damn, that's unexpected. Wasn't expecting to start the show with Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt is going to be opening the show. Okay, so Bray Wyatt about to make his way down. Interesting. Bray, yeah. Did you get a chance to listen to Dax Harwood's podcast? No, I didn't. He shed some light on CM Punk. I think we all mistakenly blame CM Punk for the turmoil in AEW, said Jilly. Excellence of Execution says boring Bray. I can see there's a few super chats that I think have snuck through, which I haven't had a chance to. I really can't see them. I just can't see them. Now that we're in this dark mode, it's making things even worse. I'm gonna have to get the alert thing set up again and get some noise or something so that I know when one comes through. But Jake Campbell, Joy Maurice, Cynthia San Diego, shout out to you guys. If you there's Cynthia said I'm doing good. My head is killing me. Cynthia, I don't think I saw your super chat, bud. Feel free to put it in. I'll keep an eye out for it. Who do you think Roman should lose the titles to? Well, Cody's got to win one, any. So Cody needs to win. Jaden, shout out to you, buds. I'm good. What will Bray have to say? Well, I mean, I think he'll probably say something like, I told you it wasn't me. I'm still struggling with, everything that's going on. I don't feel like I'm going to get any answers from Bray, but I think we might be hearing from Howdy. I'm quite interested in what Howdy's got to say, to be honest. It's been rumors that Roman is going to drop the title to Seth before WrestleMania. That'd be good. I'm not a fan of 2 nights of Roman, to be honest. This entrance looks great, but save it for the pay-per-view, said Whisperance. Quinton said R.I.P. to Don West from Impact. Bray is the best, says Alex. Days, I'm excited. Kevin Owens is going to team with the guy from Fortnite, said Smurfy. Do you think Seth will win the US title on Monday, says Amin? No. You missed super chats. Yeah, I just said to those that at the top, I think Cynthia, Joy Maurice, Jake, feel free to put your comments in. Whatever it was you said, I'll keep an eye out for them. I can't go back to them. YouTube's rubbish. You'd think that they would just like the ones that you've not read or clicked on would just stay at the top, but they don't. They just disappear after like 5 minutes. If you don't get to them, then they're gone. Have you heard about Cody's return? Only that Monday's looking quite good for it. Monday's meant to be quite big. Where can you watch this? Well, where SmackDown always is. Wherever SmackDown is normally for you. It's on BT Sport 1 here in the UK. But maybe you watch it in America on USA Network. Are you sure someone is fighting with Kevin against Reigns and Sami? I can't see anyone. Right, here's Bray. My name is Bray Wyatt. Hello. Yeah. Honestly, I don't regret much. But last week, he didn't deserve being attacked. Here's LA Knight. So LA Knight making his way down. LA Knight. Yeah. Let me talk to you. LA Knight coming down. There's the Bray impression. The master of the mind games. Yeah. Cynthia said, Days, hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you and your mom. Wishing you a very happy and blessed New Year. Hope this coming year is even better with new beginnings and adventures. Cynthia, shout out to you, my friend. Really, really appreciate the support. I wish you a very happy New Year as well to you and your family. Hope you have a great one. Can't believe it's so soon, actually. It's like today, isn't it? New Year's Eve. It's really come around quick. So yeah, Cynthia, shout out to you, my friends. Right, LA Knight. Hear this. You used to be something, says LA Knight. Is there a "you suck" chant for LA Knight? He says, pipe down, I didn't ask any of you. Booze for LA Knight. Yeah. He said, week after week, you just prove yourself to be a fraud. Oh, here we go. He wants to make it special. So he says Royal Rumble's coming up. He wants to make it special. He said he's going to break him. You little idiot. Who do you think you're talking to, son? I think you're right. So he's talking about how he wants to remind the world how cruel he can be. Bray. Yeah. So Bray accepts. Oh, here's Howdy. Howdy. Rebel in what you are. Rebel in what you are. Embrace the dark. Oh, hello. Hello, new entrance music. Here's Howdy. Howdy. Okay, so Uncle Howdy's come out. Embrace the dark. Howdy. Are you streaming Rampage? No, we never do Rampage. Okay, well, Howdy's actually making his way down to the ring. This is exciting. Can't see much of Howdy. Gonna get in the ring. Okay, so Howdy's on the outsides. He's taking his hat off. Hair reveal. Okay, so Howdy's took his hat off. Oh man, this could be huge, you know. This could be a big segment. Is he going to talk? Why doesn't Bray just go and punch him in the face? As he's stepping in the ring. Bang! Right, Howdy's jumping inside. Hayden, shout out to you, bud. Said Days, Happy New Year. Hope 2023 will be a great year. Same to you, buds. Same to you. And Jason Parsons, shout out to you as well, my friends. Appreciate the support. Hope you guys are going to have a good one. Right now, we've got Howdy standing next to Bray, and Howdy attacks Bray. Howdy attacks Bray. Just he grabs his hat. He's going to put it back on again. Okay, so Howdy came down, got in the ring, hits Sister Abigail on Bray, and now he's walking away. What in the world? Said Rory. In all fairness, Howdy's not been the biggest Bray fan, has he? For he's been calling him a liar. So he's called him a liar and everything. So I don't think Bray could trust him. There we go. What the flip, said AR1. What happened? That's definitely Bo, said Trent. Right, we've got Sami going up to the bloodline door, knocking on the door. I thought he was there to protect Bray, said Ethan. Okay, Sami is here. He's knocked on the bloodline door. Tribal Chief and I were talking. Your pledge of loyalty. Okay. He's very proud of you. The tribal chief is very proud of Sami and what Sami's done. Why are they not letting him in, though? I don't understand. Why is he not just letting him in to see Roman? Crowd start chanting for Sami. Ah. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Paul Heyman says that being on the island of irrelevancy means that you have to be 3 steps ahead at all times. That's really interesting. Heyman laughs. And there we go. We come to the end of that segment. Right, let's have a look, shall we, and see if we can just get some of these images loaded up. We had Howdy on his way down. Honestly, I don't know what we learned from that. I mean, I suppose it definitely adds more fuel to the idea that he is a separate person. I mean, I don't know that Bray's going to hire an actor actor to come in and attack him. I mean, that's quite out there if he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he did do that. Perhaps it's just another way of further ensuring that people are second guessing. I don't know. I don't know. My feelings on this have always been that it's all been Bray. Could it still be Bray? Sure. I would say, though, that we've definitely took a step in the direction of it now being someone else. But I'm still keeping an open mind with it. I don't know. Let's have a look. We'll have a look. We'll do a video on it. We'll have a little look. Big segment coming out of SmackDown, and this was really interesting. It actually opened the show. They were talking a lot about, it was Bray and LA Knight talking about having a match. Now, they didn't actually say pitch black, but Uncle Howdy did interrupt and did hint towards that. Now, I was waiting for a pitch black match to be announced because it's already been confirmed that one is going to be taking place at the Royal Rumble. We just don't know who's involved. And the rumors are that it is going to be Bray and it is going to be LA Knight. So when this started, this segment, Bray came out and said, "My name is Bray. Deep down, I don't think of myself as a good person, but honestly, I don't regret much. Last week, I did something I do regret. The cameraman, I attacked him in cold blood, and he didn't deserve it." Before we could get any further, LA Knight came down, basically said, "You used to be something. Week after week, you've just proven yourself to be a fraud." And he says, "You know, I'm going to propose something. Royal Rumble's coming up, and we were building towards a match. We did get some video package interference, but we got some much bigger after that had ended. And that was that we actually got Uncle Howdy come down to the ring. Now, he came down to this like new entrance music, which we hadn't heard before. It wasn't anything by Code Orange. Seems like maybe it's just something that's been done in-house. It was a little, not generic, but certainly wasn't as big in its sound as Bray's entrance music. But he made his way down. He even took his hat off. The light was very low, so you couldn't really see anything. He got into the ring, stood next to Bray, didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but then he hits Bray with the Sister Abigail. He hits Bray with the Sister Abigail, slides out the ring, and that's probably the best image that we get. That's probably the best look that we get of Uncle Howdy as he's just about to put his hat back on and walk back up to the entrance ramp and up to the entrance stage. What we take from this, I really don't know. The only thing I would say is that for me, we definitely take a step into the direction of this being a different person now. I don't know that Bray could have hired someone to have attacked him. Maybe he could have. You know, it could be that it turns out that they are working together. We have seen those kind of swerves before, but equally, I'm, keeping an open mind. And so it could be, it's so hard to know. Are they working together? Are they not working together? What is that relationship? These are the big questions that people are asking. More we're seeing this, the more it feels like they are two different people. I still think there's a chance, though, and it's not a hill that I'm willing to die on. So I'm quite happy to change my mind as we get more information, but I still think that these two are working together. I still think that this is a union, even though he's attacked Bray. It could be just to throw LA Knight off the scent. It could be to make him think that he knows what's going on when he hasn't got a clue, like most of us, as to what this relationship is. So it's really interesting. It's something for us to get our teeth into. I really appreciate that. There was no confirmation of the pitch black match, but it was certainly referenced by Howdy in that video interruption. So, it's another interesting step forwards. I like this. It's better than just a Bray promo backstage. You know, we've got new entrance music. Feels like they're really fleshing out this Uncle Howdy character. So definitely a lot for us to get our teeth into. I can tell you as well that Sheamus and Solo Sikoa have made their way down to the ring. So looks like we are going to be going to our next match. Sheamus against Solo. Let's turn this up. And WWE, Michael Cole just announcing about Don West passing away. So that's nice. Now, I don't know that that's something that they would have done under Vince, to be honest. But yeah, that's nice. Okay, Solo and Sheamus then underway, going one-on-one. Okay. I tell you what, this dark mode, I mean, I can't see anything that I'm doing now. Thankfully, I know where a lot of the buttons are, but God, I really don't recommend this dark mode. Really hard to see anything that's happening. Right, we are underway then. Sheamus against Solo. Both are in the ring right now. I will change that over at the bottom, and I'll get to you guys and what your thoughts were with that segment. It was an interesting segment, of course. I was not expecting Don West to be mentioned, said Jim. Don West was a guy who sold knives on TNA, said Mr. Cardinal. Exposing said, Bray and Howdy really give me Taker and Kane vibes. Sonny, shout out to you. Hope you're well. Said, I found a new apartment. It's bigger. Otherwise, I'm not keep on looking. Shout out to you, Sonny. I'm pleased that that's going well. Did I get to Scott? There's Scott. I feel like Roman and Sami lose and Roman turns on Sami because that will end the year with a big talking point and something big for next year, says Scott. Scott, shout out to you. So Michael Cole just said that this match will not be for the faint of heart. So Solo in the corner, gets hurled over to the other side. Sheamus goes to the other side hard. So Uncle Howdy attacks Bray Wyatt. We're on the outside. Solo Sikoa has grabbed a chair and feels like we might be going to a commercial break. Yeah, and we are. We do go to a commercial break. That was a short segment, wasn't it? I feel like that segment was only around for about 5 minutes since we came back from the last commercial break. Bray Wyatt after confronting LA Knight. Boom. Lovely. That'll do. Uncle Howdy. Days, what Twitter can I DM you on? Well, I've only got one now, which is Wrestling Days Whitey. Now, hello, Darcy. I hope you're well. What are your thoughts on the current commentator pairings? Are they better than they were before Triple H? Well, everyone knows I think Pat's the worst thing that's ever happened to WWE. I flipping hate that guy. So, no, would be my answer. I would much rather listen to Wade than I would Pat. So I think Wade and Michael Cole is an improvement. Over on Raw, Kevin Patrick's awful. Kevin Patrick's awful. I think Booker T in NXT is awful. I think the tone of Booker's voice is a bit growly, and so he's just not very clear. And so it's not comfortable to listen to. He's a great wrestler, great trainer, fantastic in the wrestling industry, and I'm sure podcast wise is brilliant as well. But the growliness of his voice doesn't lend itself to him being a great commentator. I'm sure the things he says are fine, but it's too growly. And Kevin Patrick as well. I mean, like, the problem is that when you're a commentator, you need to be nice and clear, but also, like, when you get enthused as well, like, you don't want to be getting too high-pitched. And again, you need to be nice and clear. And, I think about JR, like, when JR would get enthused, you could still clearly hear what he was saying and some of the killer lines that he would come out with in those moments, JR, when things were happening and he needed to get enthusiastic, he wasn't just going, oh, look at this, or anything along those lines. He's coming out with, he's got a family, damn it, and things along those lines. Like, he's really adding to those moments with what he says in those kind of times where you get enthused. And, that's something that we just really struggle with commentators. It's easy for people to go, oh, and freak out. Like, everyone can do that. But can you, in those moments, get enthusiastic, still deliver quality commentary lines, still deliver killer lines that are going to enhance those moments? And the other thing as well is, do you know when to shut up? Because there are moments that need to just breathe. There are moments where you don't commentate over them, right? You just let them moments breathe. And, some commentators just have got verbal diarrhea. That's something that I think I would be very guilty of, because for these watch-alongs, I talk all the time, don't I? So, like, I'm constantly having to talk. And so I think I would probably be quite guilty of, like, talking too much as well. But sometimes, like, say Undertaker's entrance, you wouldn't want commentators talking all over the top of the Undertaker's entrance, because that is a moment, isn't it? It's like the Bray entrance. You don't want people talking over Bray's entrance. When Bray's making his way down to the ring, you want the commentators to shut up so that you can just have Bray coming down. And, there's so much to commentary. It's not about knowing moves. I think it does help if you know a chunk of them, of course. And that's where ex-wrestlers are pretty good, because they know all the different moves. So it does definitely help to know some. But you don't need to be like Excalibur, who's an encyclopedia of, like, every wrestling move that's ever been created. So, yeah, I would say that Kevin Patrick's a problem. I would say that Booker's a problem. But I think Wade Barrett's all right. So I'd say it's a mixed bag, but I don't feel like these are classic commentary teams. Rob, shout out to you, bud. Said, first time Bray had red and black boots, a.k.a. The Fiend. Rob, I hope you're well, dudes. Okay, we're up to date with that. Do you think Bloodline turn will happen today? I'm going no. I'm going to go no. I think it's too soon. I think that to go from them loving Sami to turning on Sami this quickly would be too quick for me. I think that this story has played out over such a long period of time. We've been watching this story evolve. So for us to now get to the point where they just turn on Sami after him doing he's done nothing wrong so far. So for us to get to this point where he's going to cost them the match tonight, and that's enough for them to turn on him, I think that'd just be too quick. I really do. So I think that you can certainly plant the seeds of it tonight, but I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't have him getting turned on. Right, we've got Sheamus in the ring. He's looking to come in with a brogue, but there's a super kick there by Solo. Solo goes down. 1, 2, and shoulder up by Solo. It won't take long for Roman to start getting tired of Sami chants, says Victoria. Has NXT call-up ever gotten a big push, as big a push as Solo? Yeah, we've seen Kevin Owens get a big push since he came up. We've seen, Solo's push is good. He's, gone straight into the bloodline. Obviously helps who his family members are. But, I mean, God, Charlotte had a great push when she first came up as well. I think there's been a few that have been used really well. Oof. Irish Curse. Backbreaker there by Sheamus. But will we get more people in Wyatt's stable before the Rumble? Well, I don't know. I mean, there's no stable at the moment, is there? We don't know what's happening with Howdy. I mean, he just turned on Bray, so there's questions there as to, is he on Bray's side? As I said in that quick little video, I'm still leaning towards that he is. But I don't know that anyone can have really any confidence in what's going on at the moment. Jimmy is grabbing a hold of Solo. Super kick there. We've got Usos brawling on the outsides with the brawling brutes. Shots coming in. And Sheamus going up top. Sheamus comes crashing down. So Sheamus off the top comes crashing down onto the Usos. Solo grabs Sheamus. Slams him onto the edge of the ring. Sheamus in the ring. Solo in the ring. Solo is... Bang! Samoan Spike gets it done. So it is a victory for Solo Sikoa with the Samoan Spike. And now the Usos are beating up on Sheamus. Ridge jumping out the ring. They're being outnumbered here. We're seeing the Smackdown thing flickering. I don't know why that just flickered. But the Smackdown barricade just flickered. So there's a chair around the head of Sheamus. Yeah, that Smackdown barricade just flickered. That was interesting. And here's Drew. Drew's making his way down. The Scottish Warrior making his way down. Dun. Okay, McIntyre. That's BS. Even with interference, Sikoa isn't at the level of Sheamus. McIntyre sends Solo over the top. Drew going against the ropes. So Drew helping them out. How long we had? We had 35 minutes already here. The stuff was glitchy and it was made by Bray. But who's your top 3 men and women for the Rumble? Well, I think we could be looking at Becky. We could be looking at Rhea. We could be looking at Charlotte. And for the guys, I think we could be looking at Rock. We could be looking at Cody. We could be looking at maybe Seth. Probably go with something like that. Okay, so Drew has made his way down. SmackDown Women's Championship is coming up next. Here is our progressive match flow. So, Women's Championship match coming up. We knew that we were going to be getting this. Ronda versus Raquel Rodriguez. That was Vincent. All the moves and clicking of the fingers. It's his style, says James. What's the SmackDown card tonight? Well, I think they've only announced 3 matches. And we've had Solo against Sheamus. We're about to get Ronda against Raquel. And the other match that's been announced is the main event that's coming up, which is the tag match of John Cena and Kevin Owens taking on Roman and Sami. Can you do another old pay-per-view tomorrow? I genuinely don't know. I don't know. I'll have to have a think. I've sent you a picture I got from the segment. Howdy is wearing the Fiend gloves, says Canadian Kids. Okay. I'll have a look at that after. Wishing you a happy new year. Hope have enjoyed the streams this year. Awesome. Shout out to you, Haley wrestling fan. Really appreciate it. There's just so much going on right now that we just can't take our eyes off the show. We're about to go over to this women's title match. In fact, I probably should change this at the bottom. So we've got Ronda versus Raquel. Ronda versus Raquel. I get down about reputation. So we should be going over to this. I'll tell you what, we could go in the chat and see what you lot think. I don't think Ronda's losing the championship here. Who leaves as SmackDown Women's Champion? Who's going to leave as the champion? Is it Ronda or is it Raquel? Right, this match coming up next. Let's go, Ronda. Thanks, Days. You got me through this rough year. Ryan Gambler, shout out to you, buds. But can you stream another old WrestleMania? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing at this stage. Ring General said, obviously Ronda. I think it's Ronda as well. I just wondered what the percentage was going to be, to be honest. Trent, shout out to you, buds. Trent says, what if Roman defended the WWE title in the Rumble and the Universal in Elimination Chamber? He could lose the Rumble and win the Chamber. Just an idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's one that we've kind of floated before. And there's just no indication that they're going to look to do that. But I think it's a really good way of getting the title off him and onto another heel. Because I think that Cody is sure to win the title at WrestleMania. Now, the plans were, or what we heard they were, was that it was going to be Roman against Cody and then Roman against Rock. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of that, as you know. I wouldn't do 2 nights of Roman. But you do need Cody to beat a heel in order to win the title. You don't want to split the crowd. You know, this is Cody's big moment. He needs to beat a heel. He needs to beat someone that people want to see lose. I don't even know if Seth's the right call, to be honest, because I think there's people that really like Seth. And Seth is over with his music, and I think people probably feel that Seth deserves another title run. So I don't even know. And Seth's a bit of a face at the moment. I don't even think he's a heel. So I sort of feel like you could have Roman lose the title to another heel in the Rumble. It's obviously very hard to do heel versus heel matches. But you could have him lose it to a heel and then have Cody beat that heel at WrestleMania. That way you wouldn't be having 2 Roman matches. And it still means that Cody can win the title at WrestleMania from a heel. So I do like it. Yeah, Rumble or Elimination Chamber. Both are great ways of getting a belt off a heel and onto another heel. And I think that's it's there. It makes the Rumble or Chamber even bigger. So why not use it? Why not do it? But there's no reports of them looking to do that at the moment. So I don't know. I'm at the moment, I'm not expecting it to go that way. But I agree, Trent. I think that would be a good way forwards. I think it'd be a very good way forwards. Canadian Kid said, my thought is that all these people are using Howdy's body to push Bray into his demons. There is no sense in it being The Rock. What would be the points? I agree. Roman losing in the Rumble is a perfect way of getting it off Roman without having to tap or take a pin. Good point. Darcy said, any recent news on Orton? Is there a chance he gets involved with the world titles? No, I mean, the last news I heard was that it was bad and they didn't even know if he was coming back, let alone when he was coming back. So I think it seems quite serious. So no, I don't think there's any reports about him being involved around world titles, unfortunately. It's not looking good. Sonny says, hello, fellow Canadians. I'm thinking of going with Tech Savvy for internet. Has anyone got any experience with Tech Savvy? Well, there we go. If you're with Tech Savvy, let Sonny know. Are they good? Are they reliable? I honestly don't want Cody's moment ruined or not done the right way. So I would be cool with Cody winning at SummerSlam. I know it's not WrestleMania, but still a big show. Yep. Right. We are going back to the show. Okay, they've done this again where they're talking about a football thing, but we can't see any graphics. So we just got a shot of the audience. Right, there's a graphic for John Cena and Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. We haven't got long. We're on 17 minutes from the halfway point. So we've already had 3/4 of an hour of tonight's show. It's flying, isn't it? Here's Raquel Rodriguez. So Raquel making her way down. This is going to be for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And we did a quick poll, and actually I'm quite surprised at the results. We might as well end it. We've had over 330 votes, and 70% of you have said that you think Ronda's going to win. That means nearly 30% of you, that's like 1 in 3, think that Raquel is going to leave as the SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm really surprised. I don't think she's got any chance. I don't think she's got any chance here. I don't think they're going to put the belt on Raquel unless they're going to put it on her and then take it back off her real quick. Because it really feels like Ronda's going to be taking that title into WrestleMania. But near enough 1 in 3 of you think that that Ronda could be losing the title here. Okay, well, let's have a look, shall we? Here comes Rowdy Ronda Rousey making her way down with Shayna Baszler by her side. Ronda's got gi on. She's got a black belt around her neck as well. Ronda holding up that SmackDown Women's Championship. Referee coming in, trying to separate these two apart. Big fight feel. If you can't do WrestleMania, can you stream an old Survivor Series? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Shy's Garage says, got to have some shocking happen tonight to end 2022. Kane said, how about this? Why not have Rhea win the Rumble, Finn win the men's? Rumors for big plans. Yeah, the only problem with Finn is that I think there are big plans for him, but I don't know if those plans involve WrestleMania. I think, there's a lot of talk of Cody, a lot of talk of The Rock, there's talk of Seth. Like, I think there could be some big plans for Finn, but I just don't know that they'll come this side of WrestleMania. So, don't know. I mean, if Finn was to win, that would be cool. I'm down for Finn winning. I like Finn, but I would be surprised for it to happen this side of Mania and not the other side of Mania. This show has been really good so far, said Ribby. Days, that was Vincent, said Jordan. Zoom Station said Shayna Baszler is the queen of the fruit roll-ups. Right, we are underway with this. We are underway. Raquel and Ronda locking up. And Raquel is in the corner. Ronda has got Raquel's arm. Ronda with a shot to the midsection. And again, a couple of strikes coming in. Driving Raquel back. Slap in the face there by Ronda. Ronda has got Raquel in the corner. It's Ronda that's in control at the moment. Raquel is charging over. Raquel going against the ropes. Another shoulder tackle there by Raquel. She picks up Ronda and looking to swing her around, plants her down. Raquel Rodriguez going for a quick cover and shoulder up by Ronda. Deja sitting on an office chair, not the usual sofa, and it is unsettling. Yeah, it's I need to stop swinging around on it, to be honest. I think what I need is I maybe need an office chair that I can just lock in position. Right, Raquel has got Ronda up on her shoulders, picks her up, looks to chuck her into the ring. She kind of gets caught a little bit on the bottom rope, but Ronda is in the ring. Raquel coming over, grabbing Ronda. Ronda going back into the corner. Raquel picks up Ronda, hurls her across the ring. And Ronda slumped over the other side. Big splash there by Raquel. Raquel charging over again with another big splash. Raquel coming over one more time, shoulder first, but Ronda moves out the way. That means that Raquel goes to the outside and looks like we're about to go to commercial break. William, shout out to you. I hope you're well. I wonder if R-Truth is backstage to see his childhood hero, John Cena. That would have been awesome. Any interaction between R-Truth and John Cena is always comedy gold. It's just a shame that R-Truth's injured, isn't he? He picked up an injury on NXT. So, I don't know. Be great if he was there. Be great if he was there and, like, maybe he got a wish made for him, what with him being injured or something. Like, me, I don't know. Would that be tasteless? I don't know. Would that be tasteless? Could have some fun, couldn't you, with R-Truth meeting his hero? I love them two together. Mark said Strowman came back to put people over. He should get a great push from returning. Yvette said, I hope you had a blessed day. Yvette, shout out to you. Yeah, it's been good. It's been chilled. It's been a nice couple of days, actually. Saw the family on Wednesday, then recovered. Got sleep yesterday, and then today I've just been so excited to get back to streaming. I mean, when you stream as often as I do, you really miss it when you don't do it. So it's good to be back. Good to be back. I find it hard to get behind, Raquel, said JB. She should be a super baby face, but there seems to be a lack of personality and charisma. Yeah, I don't disagree, to be honest. I think that she's in the John Cena prototype stage, whereby we haven't quite found her personality. We haven't quite found who she is and what she's going to be known for. Like, she's big. She's, clearly got like some good muscles on her. And we like to show off her back. But I don't think we've kind of found the personality and the charisma, as you say. I think it's there. I think she's definitely got something about her. She's Latino heat. They could probably lean into that a little bit more. She probably needs some backstage segments, And I think they have tried to do a few things because she's been injured, hasn't she? And they've done like her being treated and getting attacked and things along those lines. But it would be nice to find out a little bit more about her and just kind of flesh out a character a little bit. But I don't know. I suppose in a way it's still early doors, isn't it, really? If she's going to be on the main roster for, say, 15 years or something, I mean, she's only been here for a hot minute. She's certainly capable of decent matches. I think she'll make it. But I don't disagree. Like, she still feels a little bit in a prototype stage. Raquel over against the ropes, getting choked. Knee to the side of the head there by Ronda. Ronda stepping in between the ropes. Coming over to Raquel. Talking a bit of trash, grabbing her arm. Nice little roll through there by Ronda, and she's grabbed a hold of the leg. So Ronda showing off some good moves. Look at that. She's got her all tied up. She's got her leg out here. She's got her arm wrapped around her head. Pulling back on the arm. Few shots coming in by Ronda. Raquel getting up, reversing it into a pin, and Ronda getting up to her feet. Just momentarily lost the picture there. Shot coming in by Raquel. It's got Ronda rock. Shot to the midsection by Ronda. Ronda coming over, step up. Oh, she stepped up on Ronda and then came down with like a superwoman punch. Back elbow by Ronda. Days, what are your thoughts? We've had a different build of Uncle Howdy, which was the normal one. This Howdy was skinny and had a different mask. Maybe it was Uncle Harper, said Canadian Kids. I mean, I don't... Looking at the mask, it felt like it was the same. I mean, the problem is without, like, getting the magnifying glass out and, like, going over the segment again, which we sadly can't do during the watch-alongs. It's hard to really comment on it. My initial feeling is that was Uncle Howdy. My initial feeling is that I don't know why. To be honest, I don't know why Bray was happy for Howdy to stand next to him. I mean, Howdy has been very threatening towards Bray. Howdy attacking Bray isn't some big swerve. Like, I don't know. It's hard to like really make out what's going on, to be honest. I mean, I don't think it's Bo. I've never thought it's Bo. I all along thought it was Bray. As I said, I'm keeping an open mind. It was never a hill that I was willing to die on. So if it turns out that they're going with Vincent, then okay, they're going with Vincent. I think Vincent's more likely than Bo for me. And yeah, don't know. I'm not surprised that he attacked Bray. So at the moment, you know, the questions still remain, who is it? The other thing you've got to think as well is that a lot of these mannerisms that you're reading into, they could be getting done just to throw you off. Don't forget, he wears that earring, which a lot of people connected with Bo. And, you know, the way that he holds his jacket, you know, we've seen loads of people saying that that's Dutch or Vincent or whoever, you know, like, I feel like there's lots of little mannerisms that are being put in to catch you off guard. I really do. I think that they know that you're going to read into it, and they know that you're going to go, he just did that, so that means it's definitely this person. When the truth of the matter might be that turns out to be someone completely different, and they're just doing this to keep you guessing, you know? So I don't know. I really don't know how much you can read into it. I genuinely don't know. People were adamant that it was Bo because of the earring. And then I got tagged so many times in because of how he held his jacket. People then all of a sudden became adamant it was someone else. And now people are adamant because of the hand gesture that it's Vincent. So it's like, I feel like WWE are swerving you. I feel like they're doing it on purpose now, which is why I'm still sat here going, do you know what? Maybe it's just Bray. Maybe it's just Bray. Maybe it's still going to be Bray. Perhaps Bray's like got someone in to portray this character so that LA Knight thinks it's someone different and thinks it's not Bray. And then, you know, the swerve will be that it turns out to be Bray. So, I don't know, man. I mean, there's for a while, there's been 3 or 4 in the running, and I think there's still probably 3 or 4 in the running. I don't know that tonight has really taught me anything. I don't know that tonight, without watching it again, I don't know that I can sit here and go, right, it's Vincent. Right, it's Dutch. Right, it's Bray. Because I think there's a lot of swerving going on, I really do. I want it to be Vincent and Dutch, but I think it could be Bray, said CDJ. Well, if it's Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes. Do you think Uncle Howdy will unmask at the Rumble? Also, Bray and Howdy standing next to each other, Bray smiling, gave me a vibe that it's his brother Bo Dallas. Do I think he'll be unmasked at the Rumble? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, who knows where this story's going? I mean, it's just speculation, isn't it? There's no rumors as to when Howdy's getting unmasked. So, I have no idea where the story's going. I mean, I like the story. I'm into the story. I like the fact they're keeping us guessing. I think I do miss, though, QR codes. It's difficult, though, because the thing with the QR codes was they were brilliant and they were so much fun. And you could look at, like, the source code and all this. And you could look at the URL and there was loads to, like, decode. And they were so much fun, but they really did distract you from the show. So I miss the QR codes, but then equally, I don't miss the fact that it used to distract me throughout the whole show. So I really like the fact that I can watch the Bray thing and then it's done. I really like that because now I can sit here and watch Ronda and I can, focus on Sami, and I really like that. So I don't know. I'm a bit torn with it. But I do miss the QR codes. Maybe if they came at the end of the show, a QR code popped up, or even if the QR codes were not on SmackDown, they were on, like, I don't know, like the social media channels. Like maybe they inserted one in the YouTube. So when the Bray segment goes onto YouTube, they actually put a QR code at the end of it. Like something like that would be really fun. But I like the story. I mean, I like the whole guessing who it is. It's just, I just don't feel like we ever get close to knowing who it is. I don't know that you can look at the clues and say, well, that's definitely this person, because I think they're just constantly teasing you. I think they're constantly putting things in to make you think it's certain people, and then they'll do something else to make you think it's someone else. So I must admit, after a while of that, you do kind of go, do you know what? I'm just going to wait and see. I'm just going to wait and see. I'll just wait and see who it is. One day I'll find out who it is. So I don't know. It's not like White Rabbit, where there was a mystery as who it was, and then as it got closer, it was clearly Bray, and it was Bray. Maybe that will happen with this. Like as we get closer to the reveal, it'll become a lot more consistent with its clues as to who it is. But at the moment, I'd say there's still a good few people that could be in the run-in. Right, we're going back to the action. We was at commercial break, but we're going back. And we're almost at halftime scores as well. So we've got Ronda and we've got Raquel. Ronda down on the ground, working on the arm of Raquel. They're giving this match some time here, aren't they? Like she's really working on the arm. So good work so far, and you can see that Raquel is really struggling. Raquel in quite a bit of pain. Center of the ring, it's double wrist lock by the looks of it. Ronda looking for the pin. Raquel trying to get up, and nice roll through. She's got Ronda. She picks up Ronda. Fall away slam there by Raquel. That was nice. Michael Cole said that Raquel was medically cleared to compete tonight. I don't want Uncle Howdy to be Bray. Now, how in Bray in the ring with himself? I think that's where you would lose me. Oh, well, no. What I mean with that is that I you know me, I don't like supernatural stuff. I don't want it to be a case that both are Bray in the ring at the same time. But what it could be is that Bray is Uncle Howdy. He knows that he's Uncle Howdy. He knows that he is the one that's behind the attacks of LA Knight, but he's in denial about it, and it's something that he's a bit ashamed of because he's not in control of Howdy. He can't control it. So in a way, it's a secret that he wants to keep a secret. He doesn't want people to know that he's not in control. And so what he's done is he's gone out and he's got a friend, he's got someone, be it Vincent, be it whoever, be it an actor, be it a jobber, be it whoever, to just dress as Howdy so that people think that Howdy is actually a separate person. But that person that you saw in the ring today, that might not be the same person that attacked LA Knight. That might not be the same person that's been behind the attacks. And, that could literally be someone that Bray's gone and got to throw everyone off the scent, that so that we don't find out the truth. And the truth is Bray is Uncle Howdy. Bray is the one that's been attacking LA Knight, but Bray is also not in control of that side of himself. Because don't forget, there's been plenty of teases, lots of teases about split personalities. You know, there's a lot of imagery where there's like two bodies and one head, you know, where you've got conjoined twins, where you've got two bodies, but they share the same head. And there's lots of like imagery along those lines. And there was don't forget, we got like the psychological report that came out. We know that Bray is not mentally in a great place and we got the phone call as well. When you called that phone, you got a doctor telling you about how Bray was struggling with, psychological issues. So there just feels like there's things that have suggested that there's a psychological problem that's going on, which for me just adds fuel to the fact that Bray could have been Uncle Howdy and that he's trying to now cover it up, basically. But I mean, look, equally, it could be that it's just Vincent and that it's been Vincent all along. I mean, it absolutely could be that. It absolutely could be. Ronda manages to pick up the win here. She's got the armbar on Raquel, and it is a victory for Ronda. And she's done a good job there, Ronda. That was an all right match. Raquel selling like a trooper, man. Her selling there is brilliant. The bad elbow was her undoing. That's a lovely shot. I love Raquel being on that middle rope, and you've got Ronda with the one leg wrapped around the head. She's really pulling back on the arm. And Raquel goes down and taps away. That was cool, man. That wasn't all right. It should have been much better. Oh, I think compared to a normal Ronda outing, that was pretty good, to be honest. Jeremy said Bo is trying to remind Bray of where he comes from, that he comes from villains and he should revel in it. He should embrace his lineage. Least would make sense. A swerve that Bray was always innocent, said Jeremy. Oh, okay. Charlotte Flair is here. Charlotte Flair returns. The Queen is here. New music for her? New music for Charlotte? It's still similar, but it's a bit of a remix. I think at one point it even said the Queen. Charlotte's making her way down. No robe for Charlotte. This looks a little bit like old school Charlotte, you know. No robe for Charlotte. No showing off. No showing off. Is this face Charlotte? I feel like this is face, you know. I think she's a face. Charlotte making her way down. Ronda said SummerSlam. Lol. She's such a bad promo. Why didn't they have Shayna do that? I'm challenging you tonight? Ah, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? I'm challenging you tonight. Charlotte's come down and says, I'm challenging you tonight. No, say no. Why would she wrestle another match after wrestling a match? Say no and then laugh and walk away. Ronda puts the belt down. She says, good luck because I'm feeling spicy. Shayna's telling Ronda not to do it. Yeah, I mean, this seems like a bad idea, man. This seems like a bad idea. Bell sounded. Big boot. Ronda goes down. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Ronda. Big boot. Down goes Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler goes down. So if you are just joining us, Charlotte's return. She's challenged for the title. Ronda has accepted. Ronda is down. Spear by Charlotte, but Ronda grabs the arm of Charlotte. This is a no-win situation. 2, 3, and Charlotte wins. This is a no-win situation, though, because that doesn't make Charlotte look brilliant. She's just beaten Ronda, who's just had a match. I mean, I must admit, I wasn't expecting Charlotte to return. Sure as hell wasn't expecting her to win the women's title. She's a 14-time world champion. Charlotte Flair returns and wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. She's out in the crowds. Why didn't we just wait till next week? Why didn't we just wait? What's the reason for this? Why is this so rushed? Why have we become AEW? Is this Dynamite? Charlotte in the crowd hugs a child. In all fairness, that'll please the fans. The fans won't care. As long as Ronda's not champion. Wade Barrett said this industry can change in a heartbeat. So Charlotte getting it done. I read somewhere that Charlotte was coming back and the belt would be going to Charlotte. I hate that it's rushed, but I think they're so desperate to get it off Ronda, it just wasn't working. Charlotte's picking up the victory. Woo! Dun, dun, dun. And dun, 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 dun. So Charlotte returns and Charlotte wins. Pyro going off. The hell of a show, innit? 14-time world champion. Damn. Okay, so Charlotte in the entranceway holding up that women's championship. I'd imagine the celebrations that we're seeing on SmackDown are being replicated in homes all around the world. There's Roman. Sami's in there then. He's talking to Roman. I just want to make sure it didn't bother you at all that last week the crowd was chanting Sami. Oh. Why would it bother me? Are they planting the seed like that the Sami chants have been bothering him? How could anyone pay attention to anything other than the words you were saying? Tonight is a night off for me, says Roman. Oh, my God. It ain't going to go well, is it? It ain't going to flipping go well at all. It ain't going well. Gaming in real time, shout out to you. Let's see if I can find it. So honestly, I get about 3 minutes or so to try and read these super chats. If I don't get to them, then flippity doodah. Oh, there it is. Gaming in real time said they just pulled a Becky Lynch. They just pulled a Becky Lynch. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's chuck up a quick video. It's definitely worth it. Big breaking news coming out of SmackDown. We've got a new WWE Women's SmackDown champion. Look at that. Charlotte Flair returns, challenges Ronda, and wins the title on tonight's show. She is now a 14-time Women's World Champion. Michael Cole screaming that repeatedly. Charlotte coming back. She seemed to come back as a face. Slightly new music, seemed to be a little bit of a remix. Still very similar to her old theme, but the whole thing was less showy. She didn't come out with like a big robe and kind of show off to the fans. She came out, she came down to the ring, she challenged Ronda, she beat Ronda. Ronda had just had a match though, and the point I made during the watch along was that I don't know, this feels too quick for me. It really feels too quick. This is something that I would have liked to have seen get set up for next week. And then, like, you know, we could have had like a good build. There could have obviously been a lot of talk and we would have had a massive match for next week. Ronda has now, of course, got the excuse that she had just competed in a match against Raquel Rodriguez. So it feels like they've maybe done this to ensure that Ronda is still made to look strong. In many ways, it's very similar to like a cash-in because she just had a match. So for Charlotte to come down and challenge Ronda, I mean, look, Ronda looks stupid for accepting it because, you know, going toe-to-toe with Charlotte is difficult at the best of times. But having just been through quite a lengthy match as well against Raquel Rodriguez, it's not that surprising that Charlotte has been able to get the victory here. So Charlotte wins. She beats Ronda. She is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Where we go from here now, I really don't know. I wasn't expecting Charlotte to return. We've been waiting for it, but I wasn't expecting it. I was hoping we would get it soon, but certainly wasn't expecting Ronda to lose the title. I thought she would keep that belt all the way up to WrestleMania, where she would drop it at WrestleMania. But, wow, this is a big SmackDown tonight. We've already had a big Bray segment, and now we've got this as well. And we've still got John Cena and the big tag match to come. So, yeah, they are ending the year on a high. They really are throwing a lot into this SmackDown. And we have got a brand new women's champion. Welcome back, Charlotte Flair. Woo! Maybe Alexa will win on Monday, said Amin. One of two things. Sami is done for tonight, or he pulls off a big upset that will save the backstabbing for 2023. Bloodline is turning on Sami either tonight or next Friday, said Ogre Pickle. Terrible booking. Sasha would never come back now. Nice wrestling gear, though, said LB. Ronda losing the bout to Charlotte could build tension between Shayna and Ronda. Instead of Sami being mistreated and snapping, they seem to be going for a jealousy angle where Roman might be the one to snap. What are your thoughts on that? I've always thought the Bloodline would turn on Sami, not Sami turn on the Bloodline. People have said that in previous chats whereby, you know, have Sami be the one to turn. The point that I keep making is, why would you do that? You want to build sympathy for Sami. So, like, Sami needs to come out of it as a face that people get behind. And the best way of doing that is by him being mistreated and him being assaulted and him being attacked. Like, that is very powerful to have that. I mean, when they turn on him, his clothes need to be ripped. There needs to be blood. There needs to be it needs to be brutal. It needs to be a real brutal beatdown. So I would be shocked if Sami out of nowhere turned on the bloodline. I would put my hands up and say I never predicted that. I never saw it going that way. I think that you need to build sympathy up for Sami. And I think that you need to have people feeling really sorry for Sami. And I mean, look, it makes sense. The other thing that makes sense as well is that the point I've been making all night is why would you just have things going from being great to them turning on him? But I think what's kind of clever that they're doing is they're making out that actually could last week. It didn't seem to. There was no indication that it had. But did the Sami chance upset Roman? Could there actually have already been something that upset Roman? Which you can sort of understand, if you've got Sami chance last week. And don't forget, he did also last week say that he was the only friend Kevin Owens had. And he was like, oh, I misspoke. I didn't mean that. That might also have just been a little bell in Roman's head. So I suppose there were potentially a couple of things last week that could have planted some seeds. And now, if he lets him down in the main event, would that be enough? I still think it would be too soon to turn on Sami. I still think that this would be too quick. I wouldn't do it this week, but it does seem like we are moving quite quick tonight. It does seem like, as a lot of you have said, they want to end the year on a high, have loads of talking points. Okay, they're making a joke out of Top Dollar trying to get over the top rope. Let's not jump to conclusions. You really jumped the shark. I like this. Flop Dollar. Okay, so everyone's taking the mick out of him, and this is exactly what you would expect to happen, in all fairness. I could understand him getting upset. Boom, yeah, that's good. I like the fact they're using it. It's good. I mean, you've got something here that you could imagine them actually doing in the locker room. They would take the mick out of him. I really like that. I think that's a really good segment. Michael Cole said he shouldn't be embarrassed. A guy that size shouldn't be trying to jump over the top rope. Okay, here comes Imperium. I really like that, though. I really like that. Rather than ignoring it, use it. Giovanni Vinci. Yeah, good. Here's Imperium. Giovanni Vinci. Right, I didn't even know he was wrestling, actually. Is he wrestling? I don't even know what we're getting. Gunther making his way down. Hit row turn could do something for them. Days, it was 6 years ago that Ronda got beat by Amanda Nunes. Hope you all wrestle with Andy. Hope you had a good Christmas, buds. Gunther. I don't know what it is. Just Gunther. Let's do halftime scores. Even though it's not halftime.
It's the halftime scores.
40 minutes from the end scores.
Scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. Ooh. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Killer. Halftime scores. Everybody.
When's the next toy hunt?
Scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this.
Next, I'd say within the next few months. We managed to get one in just before Christmas, so. Right, we've got 99779, 987, 8.25, 87, 89, 897. Was 7.5, but after the botch row, I'm giving it an 8.5. 8.9579, 9.6. Gunther's Path of Destruction, said Mr. Unfamiliar. Yeah, I don't know what that is. 10, 9, 9, 7.8, 9, 6, 8, 9, 8 because of the returns. 7.46 out of 10. 9. Bray wore the same shoes that The Fiend did tonight, said Corbin. Darcy said, what's your score? I'm going to go with 7.5. 7.5. I feel like it's a really entertaining show. And, I mean, I can't believe there's only less than 40 minutes left. But, I don't know, man. I just think the Charlotte thing was too quick. I like her coming back. I really like her coming back. And I like her challenging Ronda. But her beating a weakened Ronda, it doesn't do anything for Charlotte. And it just protects Ronda. And I don't know, mate. It just gives Ronda a way out. Do you know what I mean? And that's the whole reason why they've done it. But I'd much rather see Charlotte beat Ronda and get that title off of her that way, a credible way. Like, why do we have to protect Ronda? I mean, like, I like Ronda. I think she's legit. And I think she brings legitimacy. So I'm not down on Ronda like most people. Because I think she is the baddest woman on the planet, or one of. I think, you put anyone in there with Ronda, I think she'd rip their arms off. And I think she'd beat them. And so her being champion, in my eyes, is credible. The problem is she can't do the pro wrestling stuff very well. She could legitimately kill them all. And I appreciate that. But I think she doesn't do the pro wrestling, like moves, drop kicks, telling a story. Like, promos are atrocious. Like, she just struggles with that. So it hasn't worked. The fans haven't took to her. It just hasn't worked. I mean, look, these things happen where they just don't work. That's fine. But I just feel like it was a bit soon, man. I'd much rather be excited for next week when we get Charlotte versus Ronda, rather than her coming back and, it going the way it did. So it's not like I'm like super down on it. It's just I find it a bit frustrating. So if anything, that actually drops my score. Solo and Sheamus I thought was pretty good. Bray segment was all right. It was nice to have something in there to talk about, but I think I want something a bit meatier. Like, I want something in that Bray segment now that's like really. I mean, we're having to talk about the shoes he's wearing. We're having to talk about the mannerisms of Howdy. We're having to like just look at these little things, which I want something a bit bigger. Do you know what I mean? What I will say is Howdy coming out and down to the ring is interesting, and him attacking Bray. I feel like you get something from that, but him attacking Bray that's not very surprising to me. He's been calling Bray a liar and all this kind of stuff, so I'm not surprised that he attacked Bray. But it's something that happened, and it is noteworthy. I feel like tonight's been a good show. There's been a lot of talking points. But it's not like they're big segments that make you go, oh my God, this has changed everything. Like, I don't really feel any different about the Howdy stuff than I did at the start. And, oh, here it is. Pitch Black match announced. Pitch Black match. So where's that come from? What does it mean? Why did they not propose it earlier? Why didn't Bray say, I'll face you at Rumble, but I'll face you in a pitch black match? That's weird. Why have they just chucked a graphic up? What does that even mean? I was hoping to find out what it means. Strange. Okay, we're with Imperium. Ring General. Okay, so we've got Imperium. Gunther has proven to be the most dominant intercontinental champion. Vape Moss Vape says, nice tree. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Vape Ross Vape. Hope you're well, buds. Hope you're enjoying SmackDown. Okay, so we're looking at Gunther's year, and we're looking at what he's done so far this year. So the Pitch Black back match has been announced. Waiting for that earlier. Kian, shout out to you. Is there any chance you're going to watch Shinsuke going to Japan to face Great Muta on Pro Wrestling Noah? No, I don't think so. I haven't really got any plans to watch that. I don't even know when it's on, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. If it's outside of WWE, I tend to have limited interest in it. Same with AEW, actually. AEW has been a bit flat for me for a while. I think it really needs that reset. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on Wednesday for AEW. But no, I don't have much desire to watch that at the moment. Is a Pitch Black match just lights match? Don't know, Shahil. Don't know. I was hoping to find out, but I really thought they were going to announce it during the Bray segment at the start, and they didn't. And so now we've just had a graphic. Here's Braun. Braun making his way down. Braun. So Strowman making his way down to the ring. Still got our big tag match coming up. We got half an hour left of this show. Braun. Braun's making his way down. Yes, yes, yes. The ring goes dark. Bray disappears. Howdy appears, and Howdy fights LA Knight, said WWE fan. Maybe there isn't someone on SmackDown that can beat you. But I'm not a man, I'm a monster. Gunther laughing, chucks down his... He says, I'm not asking for a title opportunity, I'm telling you. So, Braun looking for a title shot. He eliminates Imperium. Now he's in there with Gunther. Gunther coming in for a chop. Braun is bigger than what Gunther is. Tell you what, though, Gunther's a big boy, isn't he? I mean, Braun is bigger, but he's not that much bigger. Braun going onto the outsides. Strowman Express. Down goes Kaiser. Down goes Vinci. And Gunther helps Braun into the barricades. So Braun goes into the barricade, goes into that timekeeper's area. Here's Gunther with a chair and wallops Braun. Again, he's got a chair. Bang! Right across the back. So Gunther and Imperium are attacking Braun. Oof, straight into the ring steps. So they are just beating up Braun now. I don't mind this feud at all, you know. I think it'd be really interesting. Kick there by Gunther. Gunther's got the, look at that. You don't see that by, how often do you see, like, someone put a hold on Braun? Look at that. He's, like, ripping his arm off. That is cool, man. That is cool. You don't see that. When do you see Braun have a hold applied to him? Look, he's right in the middle of the ring, screaming in pain. That's really cool. Some nice moments on this show. Here's Ricochet. Ricochet's coming down with the chair. He's chasing off Gunther. Did he catch him with that chair? Ricochet swinging this chair around. Yeah, he has done a number on Imperium. That was cool. That was a good segment. Right, we're backstage with the Bloodline. Here we go. Here we go. John Cena, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, main event. Coming up next. I don't like that Gunther is scared of Braun. He should not be scared of him, said Krista. Connected with Gunther's head, said Erasure Minds. They did throw up that X for Gunther. Matt said, I heard that AJ Styles was injured. Do you know what happened? It was at a house show, but they've not said what the injury actually is. But I don't believe it's believed to be serious. So hopefully it's just something that he can quickly recover from. Roman and Sami versus Cena and Kevin Owens. Days are Mason Mansoor faces now. They were with the faces. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, we only just saw him backstage. I think that was just a segment to take the mick out of Top Dollar. I think they just had a few people in the locker room doing that. I didn't read into that they're faces now. Gunther did get hit in the head and it looked quite bad, said Ogre Pickle. Ricochet hit the spit out of Gunther on the head. It's a high ankle sprain, is it? Shy's Garage. Shout out to you. I didn't hear what it was. Just heard that it was an injury. They didn't know how long it was going to keep him out for, but it is expected to keep him out for a short time. So I don't know that we're going to see him on Monday, unfortunately. Days, after the last couple of weeks, Shayna has seemed like a C-plus player. Do you think we see anything substantial from her? Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're trying to do something with her and Ronda, but she very much is just Ronda's lackey at the moment. I mean, she was clearly not into the idea. They're both idiots. I don't know why. I don't know why WWE booked them as stupid as what they do. I mean, do you remember Ronda was saying to Shayna, don't take Liv Morgan light at Clash at the Castle? And Shayna was like, no, it's fine. It's only Liv. You'll be all right. And then she went to Clash at the Castle, got beat by Liv. And, you know, Shayna's a former UFC fighter. She shouldn't be losing to Liv. But she did. She took her lightly and Liv picked up the victory. So Shayna looked real stupid then. So Ronda went and up against Liv, was able to beat Liv. And so Shayna became Ronda's sidekick, if you will. But now they've made Ronda look stupid. Now Ronda's accepted a match after just having a match, thinking that she was going to be able to beat Charlotte. I mean, she's faced Charlotte before. She knows how tough Charlotte is. Like, she surely knew that she wasn't going to win that match. Well, she didn't. She was an idiot. She accepted the match and she's lost the title. Some of the booking is just... like, that booking is meant to protect Ronda, but it makes her look stupid. And, you know, same with Shayna. You know, I think the fact that she wasn't taking Liv seriously was meant to protect Shayna because it gave her an excuse. Like, I didn't even train properly. But it's not an excuse that makes her look cool. It's not an excuse that makes you go like, oh, that's all right, you know. It makes her look stupid. Why wouldn't you train for one of the biggest shows of the year? Just anyway, I don't know. Some of the booking, man. I really don't. Triple H is good, but he's far from perfect. But, I mean, we could sit here and rant for ages about Vince's booking at times. So, do you know what I mean? It's a difficult thing, though, isn't it? There's so many moving parts. And I should imagine, like, you know, there's a lot of women that don't want to lose. There's a lot of wrestlers that don't want to lose. You probably have to go up to and go, look, this is what we're going to keep you safe. We're going to keep you protected. This is how we're going to do it. And maybe in their mind, they go, okay, yeah, I'll go for that. Thinking that it does make them look fine, good, protected. I don't know. In my mind, it makes them look like flipping idiots. But that's the problem in it. You got to have winners. You got to have losers. And we do so many matches. Ricochet against Top Dollar. Royal Rumble qualifying match next week. Here's Kevin Owens. Main event time. I honestly feel bad for Sami if he gets turned on, especially from Roman. Reigns said, I'm glad they took the title off Ronda. She's boring. Some people point to Nick. Just Nick will be coming down to visit. Oh, that's cool. Does this mean Charlotte Ronda at Rumble? Could do. Could do. I mean, I'd imagine there will be a rematch, yes. But what I don't get, right, is if there is going to be a rematch, why not just do that as the first match? I mean, like, Charlotte coming back is a big talking point. Why did she have to come back and win? And if your plan is that you're going to take the title off Ronda soon anyway, like they've took it off her tonight, why not just do it at the Rumble? Is it because Ronda can't make the Rumble or something? So they have to change the title to someone else. Perhaps Ronda can't make the Rumble. I don't know. I cannot answer it. I cannot answer why you would bring her back and switch the title on the same night. Bringing Charlotte back's a big enough talking point as it is. We haven't seen her since May. Here's Cena. Right, Cena making his way. John Cena! Here comes the man that you can't see. Mohammed said, do you think Ronda's going to take a break? Yeah. Yeah. It does feel that way. There must be a reason why you had to take the title off her tonight. Thank you for allowing me for doing this for 20 years. Let's go to work, says John. Yeah, it does feel like she's either taking a break or she can't do the Rumble or something like that, and they've had to take the title off her. You never know what goes on behind the scenes, do you, I suppose? But yeah, it does feel like there's more to the story. I mean, honestly, if news came out tomorrow that Ronda's contract has been terminated and she's done with WWE, I wouldn't be that surprised. That's how strange tonight's booking has been. Why? Like, if you think every single week you've got SmackDown and every single week you need ratings and every single week you're fighting and battling for ratings, why would you blow through a Charlotte return and a title change within the space of 5 minutes when you don't need to? Charlotte coming back's big enough. Charlotte coming back's a massive talking point. We haven't seen her in ages. And then if Ronda accepted a match for next week, you've got something massive for next week as well. So why blow through it all in one show? Does feel like she's taking a break or she can't do the Rumble or something along those lines. It feels like there's more to this story. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? If there is any backstage drama or something that's going to come out about this, I'm sure we'll find out about it. But that is in the past. Now we've got the bloodline coming down. Here's Roman, Sami, Usos. Is Solo there? I don't think Solo's there. Unless he's right behind Roman. Yeah, there he is. He was behind Sami. Solo, Usos, Heyman, Roman, Sami. Making their way down to the ring. Days Gunther got split open from that chair shot. Yeah, I thought it, well, I didn't know he got split open, but I thought he got caught by it. Dun, 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 dun. Don't forget they want to make this a pay-per-view feel because of no day one, says James. Yeah, I still think, though, Charlotte coming back is big enough. I really do. I think if you bring Charlotte back, she's been away. She's a massive star. She's been away since May. Like, that's a massive talking point. Why race to do the match as well? I don't know. I mean, for me, it's too quick. I mean, I've made that clear, but... Right, let's see what we've got in our main event, shall we? Roman making his way down to the ring, taking his sweet time as always. How long have we got? 19 minutes. What is going to happen here, then? What is going to happen? Tell you what, let's go into the chat and we'll put a poll up. Put a poll up. Ronda could be injured or leaving, said James. She could be. She could be. Or you could be right. You could be right. It could be that they just want to give this a big, big, big show feel and they just want like 50 million talking points. Yeah, Charlotte came back. Title change. Like, whatever's about to happen with Sami, for example. You know, the Bray and Howdy thing. Like, maybe they just want to absolutely stack it. But yeah, equally, she could have a little niggling injury or that she needs to go and get dealt with, or she could have some personal issues, or she could be taking a break, or she might not be able to do the Rumble, or I'll be really interested to see what the fallout is. I'll be really interested. One thing we can agree on, though, tonight certainly has provided talking points. Sami and Roman making their presence felt. Okay, so will the Bloodline turn on Sami tonight? Will the Bloodline turn on Sami tonight? Yes or no? Simple question. It's time, and it is next. A high ankle sprain is about 3 to 6 weeks of surgery, depending on the severity, said Shy's Garage. Robert said Ronda wants tag titles with Shayna. That's why Ronda lost. Don't worry, says Robert. Days, it's funny to me seeing Cena and Reigns as these two mega superstars, and then Sami and Kevin Owens somehow involved. I am happy for them. AJ said it is not rumored. It is not rumored. It is not rumored. Where did that go? Oh, it is not rumored to be Ronda Rhea at WrestleMania now. It's not. What? So it's not rumored to be that. So what is it? What's the women's match? Is it back to being Ronda Becky? How does Charlotte fit into this now? It's a hell of a swerve, isn't it? Is this the same ref who gave Sami a stunner the other day? I don't know. Is it the female? Jessica Carr. If it is, it was her. 10-minute match. I haven't given it loads of time. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's got the same amount you might expect. Be all right. Kevin Owens should pin Roman, said Smoke. Bloodline walking out on Sami tonight, said Svarta Branda. Is it me or did Cena look a little nervous, said SD Films Studios? Don't know. I don't know. Be interesting to know if he is feeling a few nerves because, I mean, in all fairness, this is his first and only match of this year. So, you know, this isn't something that he's done much of. And he could be a bit nervous. The nerves might be there, you know. Because we've seen, like, Undertaker having a real moment of, like, doubt and Ric Flair having moments of doubt. Just because you've done it tons of times doesn't mean that you ever, like, really get over the nerves. And certainly if you go through a period where you don't do it much. We've seen Undertaker struggle at WrestleMania. Triple H had to have a word and remind him who he was. And Undertaker had to do the same with Ric Flair. Had to remind Ric Flair who Ric Flair was. Triple H had to do the same. Ric Flair completely, his confidence was shot. So, I mean, I don't know that Cena's confidence is shot, but I could definitely understand there being a few butterflies in there. Definitely. Don't know. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's see how this goes. Main event of the final WWE show of the year. Obviously, Raw will be on the 2nd. Cena looked like he was wondering if anyone noticed his bald spot, said LB. When are live reviews returning? I don't know that they will, to be honest. It's quicker to do it the way that we do it now. Okay, we've got Sami and Kevin Owens then starting us off. And Sami, side headlock on Kevin. Against the ropes goes Sami. Sami, love that. Love that. Love that. Springboard off the bottom rope there by Sami. That was nice. That was nice. I love that. Kick to midsection. Looking for a stunner there. This is the same woman that stunned Sami. It's a house show, though, isn't it? I mean, I don't know that that's going to really play into the story of the match. Roman on the outside, looking at Kevin. Kevin staring at Roman. Sami rolling out the ring. It's a bit weird, isn't it? We're watching Sami and Kevin competing in the ring. On the outside, you've got John Cena and Roman just both watching. There's going to come a point where, oh, man, that was good. Sami gets dropped onto that top rope. Come on, Sami. You're embarrassing yourself. Come on, Sami. You're embarrassing yourself. There's a bit of blood coming down the nose of Sami as well. Wipes it onto his hand. Bit of blood coming down. Crowd are starting to chant for Sami. Roman puts his hand out. Roman wants the tag. Listen. Yeah, if the tribal chief wants in, you tag him in, don't you? Tag. In comes the tribal chief. Roman stepping in. John Cena looks out at the fans. Cena chants. Cena chants. The people want Cena to come in. Cena puts his hand out. Kevin Owens isn't even looking at Cena. Kevin Owens and Roman face to face. We've got 10 minutes left. We want Cena chants. Cena playing up to it on the outside of the ring. It's good, and it feels it's electric, man. We want Cena. Oh, big clothesline there by Roman. Kevin Owens just wasn't seemingly interested in tagging in John Cena, to be honest. Big we want Cena chants. Cena sucks. Cena is like a big kid. Roman going for the pin and Kevin Owens kicks out. Roman staring at Cena. Man, it's good. Gone to commercial break. Another commercial break. We've 10 minutes left. When do we do this? Is this normal? We don't normally go to a commercial break with only 10 minutes left. We normally go to one about the 46-minute mark and then come back. And then final 10 minutes is normally the final run. Cheeky WWE. Squeezing in another ad break. So we're at commercial break at the moment. We've got 10 minutes left of this show. Cena looks like JBL's love child. What if Sasha Banks returns and reunites with Bayley as a heel? I'd be surprised. I haven't heard any rumors that she's managed to negotiate a new deal. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be a welcome surprise. Just like Charlotte, actually. That I hadn't seen that rumored anywhere. Charlotte coming back. And that, you know, these things always get spoiled. I don't know. Maybe it was out there. Perhaps it was out there today. I didn't go on to like Fightful Select or anything. So, and certainly no one said in the hour before SmackDown. We always start an hour before. No one said anything about Charlotte coming back tonight. So, feels like they did a fantastic job of keeping that quiet, to be honest. I think they did a great job of that. So, if Sasha did come back, I'd be very surprised. I've got to wait till 8 for SmackDown because I live in California. Is there no way of watching it? Can you not VPN and do something? Must be a way. Must be a way. Having to wait would suck. I actually had someone in my comments. I think it probably happens quite a bit. But I saw one the other week where they were like, why are you putting out spoilers for a show that's not aired yet? I don't know what you want about. It's been shown. It's been shown in the UK. It's been shown around the world. But apparently, it doesn't get shown at the same time on the West Coast, which is mental. Like, the whole world watches it. And then poor people on the West Coast have to sit there twiddling their thumbs till it airs at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, that really sucks. That does really, really suck. But there must be a way around that. Must be. I can't imagine that people avoid the internet. So I imagine some do. But there's going to be plenty of wrestling fans in California, whatever, that want to talk about the show as it's happening. Yeah, very strange. I live on the West Coast. I'm watching it on the Fox Sports app. Oh, there we go. There we go. Fox Sports app. Who said that? Travis. Shout out to you, buds. There we go. So if you are on the West Coast, that's maybe a way forward for you. Right, Roman goes on the outside. Strikes coming in by Kevin Owens, looking for clothesline, but Sami grabs him. So, Snapdragon, that's beautiful. But Kevin Owens pops straight back up, hits a clothesline. We got 7 minutes to go. 7 minutes to go. I think Kevin is starting to think about tagging now. I mean, look, Cena, I think Cena's just not in much ring shape, so he's just going to get a few minutes, isn't he? I'm guessing he's probably going to get prevented here. And he does. Roman comes round, starts unloading on Cena, hurls Cena into the barricades. Roman Reigns dealing with Cena. Big boot there by Sami. Cena goes down. Roman walking round on the outsides. Sami looking for the haluva. Charging over. Super kick there by Kevin Owens. Sami goes down. Owens goes down. Sami is trying to get over to Roman. Look, Kevin Owens goes to John Cena, but Cena's down. So Cena is down. Super kick there by Owens. I hope Cena gets into this match. Do you imagine if he never actually gets tagged in? That would suck. Technically, he's still had a match, though. He's still part of this match, even if he never actually gets in there. But it would suck if he never gets in. I'm sure he will. Sami getting dragged over to the corner, and Roman tags himself in. Roman's having to do quite a bit of heavy lifting in this one. Sami rolls out the ring. Roman has got Kevin Owens down. Yeah, the bloodline don't care what the people want. Superman, he's looking for the Superman. Charges over, misses with it. Kick there by Kevin Owens. Owens going to the outsides. Owens is climbing up, looking for the frog splash. Connects with the frog splash. 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. This looks bad for Sami, said Paul. If you could pick any footballer to debut in the Rumble, who would you pick? I'd go with Messi. I don't think he'd be any good in there, but he'd certainly generate probably the most buzz. And then hopefully he'd get eliminated quite quick, because I don't like celebrities in wrestling. Charging over, looking for a spear. Boom! Into the ring post goes Roman. Roman down. Kevin Owens down. Cena's back. Cena's back. John Cena up on the edge of the ring. This place is gonna go banana, man, when this tag gets made. Huh? What was Jessica Carr doing? What was Jessica Carr doing then? Jessica Carr was shouting, "Don't move, don't move." Okay, tag. I think she was giving instructions from the back. I think Cena's in, but I'm more distracted by Jessica Carr shouting at the competitors as to what they're meant to do. Don't move, don't move. Okay, tag. I tell you what, do you know who the ring general is in this match? It's Jessica Carr. Jessica Carr's the new Gunther. She's the ring general. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, tag. Lol. Right. 5 knuckle shuffle there by John CC. Oof. AA. Oh, that leaves Sami in the ring on his own. Stunner. 1, 2, 3. Oh. How long we got? 3 minutes. Oh. Get out of there, Sami. Get out of there, mate. Get out of there. Just run away. Let it blow over. Okay, Kevin Owens and Cena beat Reigns and Zayn. Cena and the ref shouting. That's a bit too clear. Where does Sami stand in the bloodline? Oh, there we go. We'll see you next week. And it fades to black. So no turn on Sami. I like that. I like that. I like that. No turn on Sami. It might be coming, but it hasn't happened here and now. Love him or hate him, Cena is still the GOAT, said Paul. I'm not watching the match. It's too late for me, says Gaming with Great Fish. Jessica Carr has been very underappreciated. Everything I hear about her is positive. She does a great job. Such a big and stressful match. Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. I think she was a bit too loud there, though. I think she needed to be a bit more subtle about giving those instructions. But, I mean, when you see someone like Aubrey Edwards dancing around the ring and distracting from the action, you know, Jessica Carr just plays it cool in the background, stays out the way. She's always there when she needs to be there. I mean, she just does a job. You don't even notice her, really. So yeah, I think she does a great job, but she was too loud. She was too loud. I think she got a bit overexcited. Very exciting though, wasn't it? So can't say that I blame her. Too rushed. It need a bit more time, said Shy's Garage. The stunner she hit on Sami a few days ago was crazy. Lady Noir, shout out to you. Happy New Year. Farming Bro said, I'm fuming. I bet Cena was paid a fortune for those 3 minutes. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not so much about what he does in the ring, is it? It's just about the fact you can advertise him. I mean, him being on this show, well, you would think drive up views and people would tune in. So he just needed to show up, didn't he? To be honest, I don't begrudge it him because, I mean, when you've put in the work he's put in, you know, you've got to be realistic. He's not had a match this year. So is he going to come in and be able to put on a classic? Is he going to be able to wrestle for a long time? Nah, I mean, the ring rust is very real. And Undertaker always used to say that, like, the hardest part of the end of his career was only wrestling once a year. That was the hardest part. He got to the point where his body couldn't do it, but the problem was that, like, even though he couldn't, Undertaker in his documentary, the Last Ride documentary, said that it took him 12 months to recover from WrestleMania, get the required surgery, rehab, and then start training for the next WrestleMania. That's why he was doing one match a year. That's all his body would allow him to do. But the problem is that getting back into some sort of ring shape for that one match you have each year is very hard. It's very difficult. Like you obviously, when you're doing house shows and matches all the time, your body's in that kind of groove, and you're in the rhythm, if you will. Like, to get out of that is a problem. And so I feel for Cena there. I mean, like, he's come back. He's obviously got a lot of movie commitments. He's made it back to have a match, the very last match of the year. It is the last match of the year that on TV for them, that he's been able to just get in and do a few minutes. But I can't be down on him for that. I understand it. Do you think Cena should beat Kevin Owens up after the show? No. It's the beginning of the end for the Bloodline, says the EST. Felt like we saw more of Charlotte than Cena, said John. Kevin Owens' eye looked bad, said Mark. John said, I could go for more Cena. Felt like we saw more of Charlotte. Jay said 10 out of 10, but I'm looking forward to next week's Smackdown. Did you see the advertising next week? Ricochet top dollar. I did, yeah. I like that segment. I thought it was a good segment. He'll be in better shape for Mania, said Paul. We should save up money to bail Dominic out. I think he's out. Yeah, I think he's out. Sonny said, I hope it all went well. It did, thanks, buds. Yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable. Bray Wyatt is going to face off in a pitch black match, says XI Jason. I believe I found Alexa Bliss in the Howdy promo. I've sent a picture for you. Okay, thank you. Spyro said, I think Social and Sami are going to betray the Bloodline, or whatever his name is. The guy, Social, is a great wrestler. I think... What? You mean Solo Sikoa? Is that who you mean? I mean, look, it's going to make for a very interesting show next week. Let's see how this all plays out. But I'm pleased that there was no attack this week. I felt like it'd be a bit soon. I feel like Sami needs to... I think Sami now has gone from being someone that the Bloodline love to now being not a problem, but there's some problems now. You know, the crowd are chanting for him. I think that is probably bothering Roman. I think that's not a problem if the Bloodline are going to keep winning. But now the Bloodline just lost. You know, Kevin Owens and John Cena just beat Roman and Sami, and it's Sami that took the pin. That's a problem. So I think Sami's going to have to prove himself. And I think Sami might fall short again. And then I really don't know where we go from there. But yeah. I think it's all building, isn't it, towards the split. Next week will be a very interesting show as well. And Raw, actually. Rumors are they want to make Raw a big show. So even Monday looks like it's going to be a big, tasty show. So plenty to look forward to. Sami could cause a small percentage of unconfidence to the Bloodline, and Roman will try to stop that, said Millennial. I'm mad hyped for Usos versus Drew and Sheamus next week, said Jay. Scripps deserves a title shot, said Lance. Raw has been depressing, said the EST. It has been a bit of a struggle at times, but high hopes for Monday. I do think that they're going to want to start the year big. I feel like they've ended the year big. I think they're going to want to start the year big. So I've got high hopes. I give SmackDown 7.25. Chris said, are people really upset that the undefeated Bloodline lost? I don't think so. I think people were expecting it. I don't know. I'd be surprised if people were upset. If they are, then I think maybe they didn't think it through or didn't think about where the story could be going. which is fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I bet there are people that just tune in and watch whatever happens, but I would have to think the vast majority were aware that the Sami's turn is coming and all of this, and that there's going to be a good chance that they were going to lose this week. So Bloodline had to lose. It was time, said the EST. I hope 2023 is going to be an interesting year. Same. Did you see Vincent's tweet? No. Sami needs to be fired, said Farming Bro. I said Kevin Owens was going to pin Sami when the match was made, said James. What's happening on Raw on Monday? Well, we've got Bianca against Alexa, and that could be interesting because, of course, Alexa is seemingly channeling her inner fiend or whatever. Like, we're starting to see Sister Abigail's and everything, so that could be interesting. I don't know what the other matches are off the top of my head, but I know they are going to look to make it a big show. I'm going to go to the Rumble, said the ST. Have a great time. Russell said, is Cena and Kevin Owens going to win the match, or Roman and Sami? It was Cena and Kevin Owens. Who is Uncle Howdy? Don't know. I think there's an argument it could still be Bray. I think that there's an argument that it could be Vincent. I think there's a argument it could be Bo, could be Dutch. I think there's a few people that it could be. My frustration with it, and I said this earlier, my frustration is that I think they tease different people to try and keep you guessing as to who it is. And I understand why you would do that, because if you make it obvious who it is, people will get bored of the story because they'll know who it is, and that's it, right? Yeah, it's Bo. We know it's Bo or whoever, right? So I feel like they keep teasing different things. But that's also having the result of me now going, do you know what? I'll just wait and see who it is. Because we're at the point now where you can't get a good read as to who it is. Like, people are saying now it's Vincent because of the way he walked down and his mannerisms. But these, I think, are largely the same people that not long ago were telling me it was Bo because of an earring. So I feel like they're just constantly putting in little teases to make you think that it's different people. The honest answer is we don't know. I mean, that's the honest answer. We don't know who it is. There's been different people that have been seemingly teased. So there's no real way of knowing at the moment as to who it is. And I don't know. I mean, like, it's difficult, isn't it? Part of me thinks like it's wise to not make it obvious who it is. But then part of me makes me think, how long are you going to keep this going for? Because I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm definitely ready to find out who it is. Certainly because we know we've got Uncle Harper as well round the corner. So Uncle Harper's not too far away. So we've got that to come as well. So we've got the Who's Uncle Harper mystery coming as well. So yeah, I'm definitely at the point now where I'd like to just find that out, get that sorted, and then we can start with something different, maybe Uncle Harper. So yeah, maybe it will be Rumble. Perhaps he will reveal himself at the Rumble. Maybe it will be. Maybe that'd be a good time as well. I mean, it means another, 4 weeks or so? That's a long... that might be all right. It might be all right. 4 weeks is a while, though. Certainly when I'm already at the point where I'm definitely ready to find out now who it is, you know? We'll see. They've teased Uncle Harper with those yeahs, says Warrior Hits. Alex said, you can't just pin a world champion. If you was betting on Howdy, then I was saying Bo, said Lady Noir. I want it, John Cena, 2 minutes. Uncle Howdy would be a terrible gimmick for Bo. Well, the reason why I don't think it's Bo is because I do think we keep seeing glimpses of someone in an owl mask. And that person in the owl mask is the person I think is Bo. So if I think that person's Bo, then that's why I don't think Uncle Howdy is Bo. So I haven't seen anything to suggest that it's Bo to me. I haven't seen one thing. I mean, the earring thing, I mean, that's nothing, is it really? Oh, he's wearing a cross as an earring. Could be a coincidence easily. That could just be a coincidence. Or it could be that it's a reference to Bo. And that, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an indicator that it is Bo. So I can't go with the Bo theory because I haven't seen anything to suggest it's Bo. And it's hard to go with any theory, to be honest. I've seen a lot more T's in a split personality, which is why I've been saying it's Bray, or why I felt it's Bray, because I've seen a lot more T's in split personalities and mental health issues than I have anything else. So, yeah, it's tricky, innit? It's tricky. What if Uncle Howdy is Sister Abigail, said James. I don't even know how that would work, to be honest. I mean, I don't even know how you'd get that, revealed unless he reveals him. I don't even think it's a woman. So, I mean, it feels like it's a guy. I'd be surprised if once the mask comes off, it's revealed to be a female. Doesn't even feel like a female body type, does it? But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we would get there with that. Days, now we're on the road to the Rumble. Who do you think will win? Well, I'm leaning towards it being Rhea or Charlotte. Well, maybe not Charlotte now because she's won the title, but she could drop that belt again. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like you probably haven't put the belt on Charlotte just to take it off Charlotte. So I've got to think that maybe Charlotte's going into WrestleMania as champ now. So I don't know. Maybe Ronda wins the Rumble, but she won it last year. So why would she win it again? I think Rhea's looking really good. I think Rhea is looking really good for the Rumble. And then, so if I was a betting man, I'd say Rhea Ripley, and I would go Cody. Rhea and Cody would be my bets. Not the most exciting of bets, but I feel pretty good about them. Definitely not going to be Cody, said Paul. Rhea will win the Rumble, and Cody will win the men's. Famous DJ said Sheamus. Daniela said, I think Ricochet should beat Top Dollar. What do you think? Yeah, I think he should. Liv Morgan and Drew said Farming Bro. Uncle Howdy is Randy Orton, said Marty. Seth Rollins is going to win, said Ree Wilson. AJ Lee could return, said Peter. For me, when Bo attacks, he usually wipes his hair back, and he did this when he performed the Sister Abigail on Bray. His stance and walk will also tell him, but this is a guess. Logan Paul should win the Rumble. Okay, well, look, I'm going to go off and do the review. You guys, I know Canadian Kid has sent me some stuff as well, so I want to get to Twitter and have a look at those bits. So I'm going to go off and do that, have a look at the review and get a few things sorted. So, yeah, really appreciate people joining us. It was a big show tonight. It was an enjoyable show tonight. I think for me, I'd probably be at like a 7.5, 7.75. I think there was loads of talking points. I think there was loads of big things that happened. It was a great way to end the year. It's certainly not a show that I'm really down on at all. But equally, there's reasons that I've given as to why for me this isn't 10 out of 10. Because there are a few things in there that it's just not the way I would have booked them. And, ultimately you could look at it and go, that was good booking because we don't know what's coming next. So, we follow the story and, we might look back on this show and go, do you know what? That was really good, actually. The way that they set this up and that up and they did this and they did that. But as of right now, for me, I'd probably be about like a 7.75. I was thoroughly entertained. And it was a big, big show. And it was great to get back to a non-tape show as well. And certainly a non-best of show like Monday. So, really enjoyed it. And I hope you did as well. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I genuinely don't. I just haven't even thought about it. So I need to give that some thought. But as I said, next I need to do the review and all of this. But whatever happens, we're definitely back on Monday for Raw. So awesome. Appreciate the support. Have a great rest of your evenings. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.